is there any
See, Raj was. I was just about to say, Raj was saying that you can't level up your Spirit Walker thing this go.
No, it's a specialization, not.
Oh yeah, I think I've done the wrong thing then.
Yeah, you become a master in your specialization.
I've confused talents with specializations. I need to take that out then.
easily done? There's a lot of stuff in that rulebook, and the talents and specialization stuff, they're worded very similarly.
That stuff sounds like it's going to kill me. In the Robot X stuff, sticking an aura can be triggered by using all spells cast within 12 years of the wheel of the staff will inflict to the spellcaster. Yeah, because that says to the spellcaster, so that's to me. So I would do 1d6 penetrating damage to myself for no additional benefit.
Plus
12 yards. 12 yards. Yeah, my original idea was just for it to be basically the power that I get from the staff is the ability to absorb souls, and that's the only thing I get from it. But I was just wondering what we can, because it's a bladed staff. I was wondering if I can, what damage we would go. Would it? Because I was going to say, shall I class it as a light blade now? Because then I'll take, because my leveling up I was going to take light blades. Do you know? Yeah. Alright, so yeah, I'll basically, yeah, I'll just do it that and give it like a really like the basic sword damage if I hit them with a sword end. So yeah, I'll take So that might could basically, if you didn't know, I basically want to be able to absorb someone's souls, and then with my specialization, when we get to the level 8, be able to summon it as a creature that can do my bidding. Do you know? So instead of raise dead, I go and hit. Do you know? Let's say with Clavera, I killed it. When we killed him, I could, use the staff and absorb his soul, but I'd need to do a willpower check to see if my willpower, can overcome their willpower.
Yeah,
to make it more balanced. So it's like I'm testing my willpower against their willpower to see if I can overcome it and absorb it. And then whenever I have that, when I get my specialization, that soul I can summon for let's say 10 mana or 20 mana, and then that becomes another token on the field with a reduced little thing of that character.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it sounds like a good idea. Like I said, we'll work it out when we get to the point of level 8 or whatever.
Yeah, because it would be level 1.
Won't be this campaign, most likely, because we're getting pretty near to the end of it.
Oh no, but that was the thingy for the character in the future.
Yeah, sure. That's a good idea.
Wolfie?
Yes.
So I was just going to say, if I pick linguistics, it says in the book that I can only take, for the novice, where is it? I've lost it. Right, yeah, it says, you learn an additional language from the following: elf, dwarf, gnome, halfling, human orc. So is that like all I'll learn at the moment, or can it also include things that we've come into contact with, if at all? I'm going to take troll then. Okay.
It's about leveling up.
Is there a thing somewhere on this? Oh yeah, no, languages. Right, no, never mind.
So as we discussed about switching some arcanas for the crafting things, is it okay if I switch out the air arcana? Yes, I was thinking that too. Or just roll.
Yeah, crafting's not even here as a talent. It's just a focus, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm about ready. I'm just choosing a focus, and then I'm good. So I can pretty much, yeah, I'm good to start.
Skip last session. I will just quickly review what happened last time. Once my OneNote decides to successfully sync up, because it's suddenly not. Okay, yeah, right. So, oh no, hang on. Sorry, I'm having a sync problem there. Technical difficulties.
Has anyone got navigation as a focus? Because I feel like we're having troubles with that. So I've taken navigation.
Me.
You have it already. Okay, I'll take something else then.
I believe Garrick was looking into it, given his interest in mastering the newly owned airship.
Yep.
Okay, so to briefly recap, last time, after you'd successfully captured the airship and you'd definitely for the last time killed Calavera. You took command of his airship, the Black Dragon, and in a rather triumphant procession, returned the freed Clicknid slaves to their hometown of Rocks That Sing, and they were reunited with their friends and family in the Blue Wind Cartel. and that allowed you to secure the agreement with the Clicknid Trade Princess to make a sort of alliance between the Blue Wind Clicknid and the ATC. And through various negotiations, you also agreed, firstly, to get some supplies for the expedition, so everyone can eat, which is good. And secondly, Black Wolf was able to kind of arrange for a trade envoy of Weird Ore to kind of be delivered to Prosperity Junction. So that's not paid for, but there is a sort of Clicknid caravan of Weird Ore and related materials on its way to Prosperity Junction, which they will no doubt be grateful for. So after being celebrated by the Blue Wing Clicknid, you then headed back north to meet up with Jesse Redhammer and the expedition at the 3 Aether Gazers. And when you got there, you found that basically all of the surviving members of the expedition are now like fully regrouped at that position, and Jessie Redhammer told you about her plans, which were essentially that she wants to establish a small outpost at the geysers to carry on mining and scouting the area for resources, but that the majority of the expedition is going to head back to Prosperity Junction with the weird ore they've been mining. But all of that's been thrown into chaos because as Cliffjumper the Troll, also known as Blue, reported to you, the giant mining platform known as Big Bertha that has been built by Reinhardt Industries is currently cutting a swathe across the Shattered Plains and is mining all the resources it can and generally making a mess of everything. So you worked on a plan to deal with it, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong or add any details to this, but what you asked Jesse Redhammer's crew to prepare for you, as I put in the Discord channel, is some high-yield weird ore explosive charges, which you were intending to use to blow up the tracks of the mining platform, because Twig's analysis of the blueprints showed those tracks were weak. Twig also identified that there's a large chamber at the center of the mining platform, which seems to be its main power source. You also asked them to make some incendiary charges, which you could use to start fires and explosions inside. And you asked them to make some breaching charges for blasting through sealed doors and metal walls and that sort of thing. So your basic plan is to take the airship, and you've asked the surviving Fireflies to help you with this. So Captain Graves and Longhorn Arnold and Eagle Eye, plus the gnomish airship crew, they're going to help you fly the airship, and you're going to try and sneakily attack Big Bertha using the dust cloud that trails behind it. And when you get close enough, the airship will use high explosive cannonballs to kind of make a distraction while you get onto the tracks and blow them up, and who knows, see what else you can do to sabotage it. Is that a fair summary of what you guys were planning to do?
Yes. I would also like to add that at least I'm thinking that we could go climb inside the vehicle and try to get to the power core and disable it or sabotage it somehow.
Yes.
Cool. So let me just pop you back into the map with the expedition, which is where you guys left off. Well, we will say that 3 days have passed since you guys left these instructions, kind of like asking for help, and the wagon crew do what they can to put these requirements for you together. And as I put in Discord earlier today, they've successfully made you 2 high-yield weird ore charges, 3 incendiary charges for starting fires, and 3 breaching charges for blasting through doors. So that's what they've been able to put together for you with the explosives they have and the time that they had. You can, divvy those up amongst yourselves as you see fit, really.
Is there any port equipment that could be used to make portals on the ship?
Well, Twig, from her examination of the blueprints, I'm just going to go off the successful tests that were made last time.
Yeah.
Twig notes that there are actually two what look like chambers for high yield magic, kind of in the top tower of the mining platform, that have a configuration that looks pretty similar to like portal chambers.
No, I meant like on the ship we got, our ship.
Oh, right. No, the airship's fairly basic in its design. It doesn't have any sort of teleportation type things.
Lots of room to improve and upgrade.
What sort of upgrades would you like to suggest?
I don't know yet.
Missile launchers.
Missile launchers, yes. And bombing capabilities.
Well, it does have cannons. You could feasibly make a few modifications to those, although in the few days that you've had, I wouldn't expect you to have been able to make any major changes.
Well, yeah, not in this fight, or for this fight,
you're thinking
for the
ahead.
future.
Yeah, sure. I mean, thinking ahead, you might be able to upgrade it with all kind of things.
Extra hull plating.
How common are airships?
They're kind of a rare luxury thing. Like, it's sort of the height of verdant technology, really.
Okay. Just thinking of ways to board other airships from this one. Like giant grappling guns.
Well, so far you've seen two, this one and the Firefly one that it shot down. And from what the Eagle Eye told you, there were a few more ones that belonged to the Fireflies before Reinhold Industries took them over. So there's certainly a handful on Umber, as far as you know.
Might be useful.
Yeah. Well, anyway, any ideas how we divide the explosive and stuff?
Who wants to be bearers of
Uh,
explosives?
How big are they in terms of are they bomb sized?
The
Are
charges,
they?
they're kind of backpack sized. Like a charge is sort of several pounds of weight.
Are they tricky to use?
No, they're very dumbfire mode. Basically, each of them has a fuse on it. You light the fuse. It takes maybe 15-20 seconds for the fuse to burn to the center, and then it blows. Which in game terms basically means if you were in combat when you use them, it takes like a round of combat and then it blows up.
Yep. I'd like to take at least one of the preacher charges. Preacher, yeah.
I think it's fair to say that each of you could probably carry up to a maximum of 3. Although that wouldn't be enough for everyone. But yeah, if you want, you can work it out.
I somehow think Twig won't even be able to carry one.
No, Twig.
But maybe
couldn't,
Dexys can carry one.
Dexys could easily carry some.
Mobile breaching charge.
What is with you guys trying to turn Dex into a like flipping mobile bomb?
Well, he's got the mobile part down.
No, so Dexys could conceivably carry one.
Mobile is sentry charge. His Dex is fireproof.
He's made of metal, so should be
but
fine.
the thing gets really hot. Break it.
I don't know about the Firefly inside. The Firefly probably wouldn't survive.
Mm.
In which point he would then have no power.
Well, I don't mind taking the high yield explosive too if people don't want to carry that.
Well, I don't mind carrying stuff, but I doubt I'll be in much position to use them.
I'll take one of the. I think probably the breaching charge makes the most sense for me to take. So I'll grab one. Yeah.
And it sounds like that was Garrick volunteering to take the high yield charges for blowing the tracks.
Yeah, one high yield and one breach charge for me.
Okay, sure.
Oh, and does Jesse Redhammer happen to have like something that could double as lockpicks? Because I don't have, and it could be useful to try and pick some locks when we go inside there.
Well, I don't know if I know that Black Wolf has some lockpicking skills, so I don't know if she's got any in her inventory.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Some random objects that I might be able to change into lockpicks. Like I've got a screwdriver. I've got some generic metal parts, mechanical parts. So I could conceivably use them to make lockpicks.
actually, I just scanned my inventory and there is a set of lockpicks there. I just knew it.
Okay. Sorry,
Because
then.
you're Batman.
Also, don't forget that we've also got the grappling guns. The 3
Yeah.
grappling guns. Who has them at the moment? I've apparently got one in my inventory.
I think basically
got
everyone
one.
had a grappling gun, didn't they?
I'll go on.
No, we didn't have enough for everyone. We had 3.
I have one.
I got one.
I'm fairly certain I've got one.
I don't exactly remember.
Yeah, I've got one.
Oh, I think I gave mine to someone else, so I shouldn't have a grappling gun then.
Because
No,
you can
okay.
fly.
You can fly.
True, yeah, I don't really need it. It was more just like, I think I had it for some reason.
Okay.
But
Are there any more volunteers for taking explosive charges, or shall I just kind of divvy them up?
I'll take one of the high yield ones.
Okay.
Just because I might get a zombie and it's always useful to have a zombie with a high yield explosive in it.
That has been effective in the past, yeah.
Indeed.
What's left?
One breaching charge and 2 engineering, I think.
I'll
can
take a
take-
breaching as well. I'll
Okay,
take
okay.
I'll take a breaching as well.
I can take both of the incendiaries.
Okay.
Okay, that's all of them.
We've got 1 incendiary charge left to take in that case.
Oh. Grozek,
Raj?
you want something?
No, I'm good, thanks.
I'll take the last incendiary charge then.
Okay, done.
Done and done.
Okay then. Right, so gear. You as a group are invited up onto the airship to meet with Captain Graves and Longhorn Arnold and Eagle Eye, who have been getting the airship into tip-top condition with the help of the gnomes who you kind of hired to stay on. And thanks to Twig's negotiations, Nettle has been reluctantly helping with some of the maintenance as well. And they basically tell you that they are ready to go when you are. And according to Cliffjumper's troll scouts, the mining platform or Big Bertha has been sighted basically about 12 hours sort of it's about 12 hours away from your current position now, and it's kind of like heading more or less straight for the Free Geezers. So Captain Graves more or less tells you to do any last minute things you need to do, and then you guys should probably get going.
Indeed. Well, I suggest that we gather around for a round of Igmar's beer before we go, like 1 pint per dude. Send
As
us home.
a Dutch carriage type thing.
I mentioned a pint of alcohol might kill Twig.
Well, I can have like a little bit.
Okay, that suggestion's very well received. So Igmar obliges with her latest batch of her famous click drink, and she hands around these bottles which have her trademark handwritten labels on them. And these ones say Igmar's Victory Click Drink, very good, definitely kill baddies, if not, no refunds. And
Sounds good.
she hands these all out to everybody. She goes, you take, everyone drink. And when she gets to Twig, she pours a small amount from one of the bottles into a little thimble and hands it to Twig and goes, small amount for a small friend.
Twig takes it and laughs and says, yep, that's about right.
And yeah, so everyone...
Oh, actually, you know what? I've just thought, I'm going to contest it, actually. I want a whole pint. Because I've got Constitution drinking as a focus.
Okay, Igmar says, is Twig's friend certain?
Yes.
Okay, so she hands over a whole bottle of Click Drink to you.
And this
So,
is
like,
the
just
death
sitting around this bottle with a big straw or something.
Oh yeah, so maybe you produce a straw from somewhere that you've engineered, maybe, and put it into the bottle and start drinking. So, do you want to make a Constitution drinking test to check that you can handle this? Oh dear.
Oh, no.
Okay, so Twig gets about halfway through this bottle, and her stomach has like visibly swollen. Oh.
I have just thought as well, I've also got a talent in carousing, which might help me here. When making a Constitution drinking test as part of an advanced test, you gain a +1 for the result of the stunt die. So,
You didn't stunt,
no.
so I'm afraid that doesn't really help you.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
So yeah, I'm afraid Twig gets halfway through drinking the beer, and by that point she's got this huge swollen belly, and she just belches disgustingly and starts swaying around in the air. And everyone kind of looks at her with a certain amount of pity.
That's the way to go.
But while Twig is kind of zigzagging around and telling everyone that she loves them, the rest of the wagon crews kind of like raise a beer to you all and toast you, on what you're about to do for them. And yeah, everyone has a drink and a cheer, and it's a slight somber note to it because people are a bit worried about if you're even going to come back. But you know, people toast you and are generally cheerful.
Cheers, everyone. Let's all get back in one piece.
Indeed.
Okay, so with that done, you guys all ascend on rope ladders up into the airship. And Captain Graves gives instructions to Arnold to power up the engine, which he does, so manning the console and powering up the arc-forged engine. And it starts pumping out magical energy, and the air balloons kind of inflate to full. And with a final cheer from the people below, you guys lift up into the skies, and you head west, ready to take on your target. So, several hours pass, and the mood on deck is quite tense. You can tell from the gnomish crew and Captain Graves that everyone's a little bit on edge. No one's quite sure what to expect. And the quiet is broken by Eagle Eye at the front of the ship calling out, "I see it! I see it! Big blooming metal thing at 12 o'clock!" And looming out of the out of a giant dust cloud on the horizon, you see you see the mining platform called Big Bertha, which much as Twig's interpretation of the blueprints suggested, is an enormous structure the size of a large town, with dozens of smoking chimneys and large drills for mining and enormous circular saws. And this lumbering metal beast just kind of like is plowing forward across the shattered plains on enormous caterpillar tracks and just throwing up dirt and smog and dust into the sky.
Mother of God, it's enormous.
So Captain Graves starts giving orders to kind of flank this enormous monstrosity. And she says, we better hope they haven't seen us yet. So over the next sort of 10 minutes, she guides the airship so it sort of circles around Big Bertha so that you end up kind of flanking around them and end up in the enormous dust cloud that it's kicking up behind it as it moves. And things on deck quickly get very choppy. The airship starts to shake a lot, and visibility is reduced to almost nothing. Like, you guys can barely see each other standing next to each other on the deck. And
With a scarf on my mouth, like around my face.
yeah, that seems so. And suddenly, as I said, the visibility is very poor, but suddenly, looming right in front of the bow of the airship, you once again see the mining platform, and now it's dead ahead of you, just this enormous great shadow. And Captain Graves yells out to you, if you're gonna get off, now's the time to do it." And she sort of gestures to the rope ladders and things that are kind of coiled up on the side of the deck. "Wish you the best of luck. I would say I hope I was coming with you, but honestly, I think I feel more comfortable up here."
I'll go to the ladders and good luck, everyone, and I swing off.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna assume that everyone is going to join in this descent.
Yeah.
So basically, you guys are jumping onto rope ladders, climbing down them as the airship kind of moves in low, near as possible as it can to the enormous caterpillar tracks that are powering this thing along. So you can get low, but the airship can't get like completely to ground level. So you guys climb down these rope ladders as far as you can, and then you're hanging above several feet above your intended landing zone, which is a kind of a large metal platform sticking out the back, which is near to the tracks. What I would like you to do, as these rope ladders swing wildly in the wind, is to all make a dexterity acrobatics test as you all make a leap of faith, letting go of the ladders and trying to make a safe landing.
Can I use my grappling gun for this?
You all can certainly use your grappling guns, and that will make your tests easier if you want to use them.
Cool.
I'm back.
Essentially, just to catch you up, Toy, people are descending from the airship onto the mining platform, and people are using their grappling guns, although as Twig can fly, she has a certain advantage to this test. Just waiting on Raj.
I'm here. That was me that came back, not Jolly.
Oh, sorry. That was weird. I don't know how I could get you two mixed up.
Yeah, we don't sound very similar.
No, you don't sound similar at all. We were just asking people to make dexterity checks to descend.
I don't have a grappling hook.
Okay.
So,
Do
you want me to jump off the side of the...
Yeah, it just means the test is slightly more difficult for you.
How? What? I don't know if I want to jump off the fucking boat, to be honest.
Well, it's a group test, so as long as most succeed, which it looks like most have, I'm saying the others can help others down.
Okay. This is dexterity.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna need that help.
Okay, so...
You're asking an old man to throw himself out of a flying ship. Like, yeah, this is a great idea, guys. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Okay, but fortunately, basically everyone else has managed to successfully descend. Twig kind of had an easier time because she has wings. Everyone else managed to jump down onto this wide metal platform, and as Krosek kind of like just like reluctantly lets go and falls. The others kind of like reach out and grab onto him while they're doing their grappling hook maneuver, and possibly whilst not impressed, Krosek is safely conveyed onto the platform. So you have now all made it onto the back of this giant metal moving town. You're standing on a metal platform which is just raised slightly above two of the kind of giant caterpillar tracks that propel this thing along. There's a deafening noise of machinery as these tracks kind of like move along, and your faces and eyes are just filled with dust and smog. But what would you like to do? You are able to stand more or less stably on the platform.
Let's
those charges.
Yeah, I'll ask Twig if she can identify the best places to put them.
Yeah, if Twig wants to do that, it'll be a mechanical law check. Although not a especially difficult one, since she already used the blueprints.
I'm back.
Oh, okay, just in time. Garrick was asking Twig's advice on where to plant explosive charges on the caterpillar tracks.
I would have said around near the wheels, because that's the thing that like keeps the tracks going. Should I do a?
I was going to ask you to do
check.
an average mechanical law check because you've already studied the plans. Okay, yeah, sure. So, Twig, despite all the dirt and dust being kind of blown into everyone's faces, Twig is able to easily spot a few like key points. You said like the wheels on the side of the tracks, and says like, oh, if you place like one there and one there, like that should be ideal.
All right. Is there any place to fasten a rope? Because I got a rope also, so it would be a good safety measure.
Yeah, we can hold on to the rope when it explodes.
Yeah, there's a couple of points. Essentially, what you're next to, like the walls of this structure, kind of have armor plating on, but periodically between these kind of armored panels, there are a few kind of metal spokes which you could probably weave a rope through and tie it off.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, cool. So you tie the rope one end onto that and the other around your waist, and you dangle yourself somewhat precariously over the side, and you secure one of these charges to the side of the track, and then you just let go for a moment and swing slightly further back, and then you place the other charge where Twig had indicated, and you light the charges and pull yourself back up onto the platform.
And now they're lit. Let's boogie. And we have to go inside before they explode. Because we are kinda in the blast zone.
Is there any way to any like hatches or anything that we can try and get in?
You do see a couple of hatches, yeah. You've probably got maybe about 15 seconds before those charges go off.
Go.
The hatches are sealed, but you might be able to find a way to open them.
I'll run to it and try. First, I'll try to check if it's locked.
Yeah, they're sealed shut. They're like pressure sealed. Like you can kind of like put your fingers around the edges, but like there is zero give. They are firm.
Fuck.
Could I try and arcane blast the side of the hatch to like release the pressure? Because I'm assuming that'd be weaker metal. I'm not sure.
Yeah, sure. You wanna just
I think it's just an accuracy roll, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. We'll call it like a Def 10 target. Yeah, there you go. That's fine.
Yeah. I need to see how much damage I do.
Okay.
Seven damage.
Okay, so you kind of zap the hinges on the side of this one of these kind of bulkhead hatches, and the hinges blast off, and the hatch kind of swings open slightly to one side, and kind of exposes what's inside.
I'll jump in
inside.
quickly.
Okay, everyone kind of like pushes the hatch open and scrambles madly inside. A moment later, just after you get in, there is a deafening explosion, quickly followed by another one, and the whole world just sort of seems to spin around you as you guys go tumbling through this tunnel as a massive explosion just rocks the side of where you are. And after a disorientated few minutes and coughing up a bunch of smoke, you guys emerge into what appears to be a large, a kind of large engine room full of steam boilers, which you will see in a moment.
How like perceptive are we of the scene, or are we still really dazed? And
You guys have
staggering?
pretty much just tumbled in. You're slightly dazed, but you've got your wits about you. The first thing that you obviously notice is that to your side there is a massive burning hole in the side of the mining platform, which is presumably where one of your charges basically ruptured through the side.
Can I order? Sorry. No.
So I was going to say the one thing you see is this. There's a sort of hobgoblin dressed in a uniform and with goggles on his head, just with his jaw completely open, looking at this burning mess that you've just made of one of his engines, and just he just kind of like looks at it, goes, "I'm not dealing with that," and he disappears through this hatch and slams the sort of pressure door behind him.
Oh, he
Are we?
preempted
We're
me.
not currently in combat, are we?
No, you're not in combat. You're basically just in a room that is seriously on fire. You can hear the sound of kind of like gears kind of crunching, and the whole structure you're in kind of is like the floor is starting to angle to one side, which suggests to you that your effort to damage one of the tracks has probably succeeded. And yes, Garrick should delete his rope because it just got incinerated in an explosion.
Great success.
I'm gonna investigate these, like various levers.
Okay, yeah, sure. So you kind of have to make your way through this, through all this fire and smoke, and there's kind of, you see a lot of dials on the walls next to these levers, and as you enter the room, those dials, actually the glass starts to crack as their needles shoot up into the red zone. And there's this deafening sound like of metal creaking, and the levers themselves seem to be starting to bend, like the mechanism the levers are connected to is basically trying to force the levers one way, but they're locked in position. So the whole system is kind of starting to tear itself apart, and the levers are starting to break.
I want to check to see if there's anything I can do to like if there's any like fire maintenance type stuff. So like anything that might airlock the damage, or like ballistic foam or anything like that. Just see if any of them do anything like that.
You have just from quickly looking around, you see these levers are mostly to do with maintaining boiler pressure. It looks like this is sort of an area where steam boilers power the caterpillar tracks. There doesn't seem to be anything to do with safety measures or maintenance control or anything like that.
I yell out the door. I need someone strong. I want to try and push the boiler pressure one the other way.
I have might. Krosek strides forward, gives it a good push,
Okay,
Good.
Old man Krosek.
flexes his saurian muscles.
Yeah. Okay, so he heads over to help Twig with the levers.
I hope this isn't embarrassing.
So Twig indicates a lever and asks him to pull it.
I'm going to follow behind and just watch.
It's not great.
It's not great, I'm afraid. Krosek kind of like rubs his palms together and then just pulls with all his might on this lever, and nothing happens. In fact, there's this sound of tearing metal, and the lever starts to edge the opposite way to where you were pulling.
I warmed it up for you, Dart.
I'll give it a go.
Okay, sure. Do you want to make a strength might test as well?
That's more like it.
Yeah, okay. So, Dark pushes past Krosek, grabs hold of the same lever, and with a grunt just kind of tries to shove the lever. And very slowly he manages to just push it back until it suddenly slams into the other position and locks.
He's stunted for 4 as well.
He did. Do you want to do
I warmed it
any
up
of your
for
stunt
you.
points?
You're welcome.
Can I just take them for inspiration?
Yeah, you can. That's absolutely fine.
We should probably try to find a way out of here,
Yeah.
or like further in.
So sorry, just so I can clarify, was Twig trying to make things worse, or was Twig trying to make things better then?
Trying to make things better, like, don't really want to burn to death.
Fair enough. Okay, so yeah, the lever that you've pushed it causes this some of the flames to subside as the boiler kind of pumps less fuel through the system. So you've probably bought yourself a few minutes in this room, but it is still incredibly hot, and some of the fires are still burning quite strongly.
I try to open the door.
Okay, you try turning the wheel, but it appears to be locked fast. You can't turn it in either direction. It's got this like large flywheel. It's kind of, you know, like in a submarine, you get those locked pressure doors, and you turn a wheel to unlock them. It's a
Yeah.
similar kind of design, but the wheel is not turning.
God damn it. Can
I'll
we
try
find
to-
a way around it?
Yeah.
From our right. Or does the fire block the path?
Yeah, the only way out of here that you can see is, yeah, as you said, this way, but there is a burning fire through that section.
Can anyone do anything about it? Or should I use my preaching charge to open the door?
What to open the door? Do you mean?
Put out the fire at our right that blocks the way forward.
I'll try and pick the lock.
There's nothing to pick.
Yeah, it's
Pick
more
the
of a
wheel.
Yeah. Just trying to think if I've got anything useful.
Putting
No.
out fires is not in
I mean-
my...
I was going to say what I could do is try to dodge through the fire with my acrobatics, like attempting to not get burned, and see if there's anything useful on the other side. But if it goes wrong, I'm going to get seriously burned.
Is there some magic any casters can do?
Not really.
I can add electricity to the fire. So
I'd say use a
That's
breaking
sounds
charge
good.
because we haven't got much time in here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we
The
should
room
just
is
breach it.
starting to fill up with smoke.
Yeah, I'll use my preaching charge to open this one.
Okay, fair enough. So
Fire in the hole!
you place the charge, yell fire in the hole, and light the fuse. Everyone moves back and kind of takes cover, and then the breaching charge goes off and just blasts this pressure door apart. So yeah, the metal shrapnel kind of flies everywhere, but after a few moments, the smoke settles, and you're able to move through into the next corridor.
I want to gather some of the shrapnel. Anything that's smaller than 6 inches,
Okay, yeah, sure.
maybe like a handful of scraps.
Twig quickly, maybe just like picks up a few of these like small parts very quickly and shoves them into a bag. Garrick is
Careful,
able
they're
to
hot.
move into the corridor and comes across a similar pressure door at the other end of this corridor. However, when he
Oh god, another door.
he tries the wheel on that one, and it does give. It's not locked off, so you're able to
Yay.
open it and move through.
I'll take out my rifle before I open it.
Okay, fair enough. You take out your rifle and step through. What you find is a large circular room, at the center of which is this sort of big towering boiler with lots of pipes and kind of little chimneys coming off it. From the look of it, things are not in a good state. There is sort of billowing clouds of steam, and various pipes appear to be straining and bending under extreme temperatures, and there's more of that awful screeching sound of bending metal. So as
How
far
nice.
as you can see, both sort of here and around the boiler itself, there's some heavy-duty sprays of boiling steam that's just constantly funneling out of these pipes that have burst.
This side seems clear.
Yeah, I'll go there.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll try to be sneaky, but speed of each of the essence, so I won't roll any like stealth now.
Okay, so you maybe just move forward military style.
Yeah, just
And-
hustle forward.
Yeah, and just having a quick sort of peek around the edge of the door, you can see that down this way there are a number of what look like a repair crew, desperately trying to get things under control. One of them is kind of like hang on. This guy here, he's kind of operating a console. Desperately trying to hit buttons and tweak dials, and he's just cursing and like slams his fist against the console and just going, "It ain't working, nothing's working." And over here, you can kind of just catch a glimpse of this orc and dwarf engineer, and they're basically trying to get a jammed flywheel to turn, presumably to close this steaming pipe, which is just like leaking exhaust everywhere. And they're just kind of trying to yell to each other above the din. And meanwhile, this foreman just kind of is panicking and moving around and doesn't seem to know what he's doing. None of them
Okay.
have noticed you because they seem to be pretty much preoccupied with their various tasks of keeping things under control.
Okay, how brutal do we want to go? Just bullet in the head of everyone who's coming across us, or?
I
Let's
was
try
thinking.
and save as much of our power as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that we tell them to scram, and if they want to stay alive, just leave this place because this place
Yeah.
is gonna blow.
Yeah, I'll go forward here with my gun drawn, and I'll yell the as loud as I can so everyone can hear me. Like, everyone, you have to get out of here right now if you want to live, because this place is gonna blow. Scram if you don't want to live, and that's about it. And I threaten them with my rifle.
Okay, well maybe this console operator guy just turns around and goes, "Whoa, where did you come from?"
I'll shoot my rifle, like, not towards anyone, but like in wall or floor or something to get some fire under their asses.
Okay, you fire a shot and it sort of ricochets off the metal walls, and just kind of ricochets off into a corner.
And I'll yell, "Run, you bastards!"
Cool. Can you make a strength intimidation check for me, or maybe it's either intimidation or I guess a communication persuasion check, whichever you prefer.
I'll use communication because my strength is pretty low.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not really like I wouldn't mind you using intimidation, but you're not really using strength. You're using bravado for want of
Well, yeah, true.
a term. So yeah, if you'd
Would that
like to
be
roll that
willpower?
for me.
Sure.
Okay,
Plus-
yeah, that's
plus 3
pretty
because of
effective.
Yeah, +3 to this because of the inspiration from my jump.
Sure. And then you happen to get another 5 stump points.
Inspiration.
Yeah, okay, sure. Just keep taking inspiration. Right, so the 4 repair crew just kind of like look at you, look at the gun, and just kind of don't even think about it. They just grab their tools and scarper.
Good. I'll run.
They basically go running down this way and then down this corridor here, making some high-pitched, shrill noises as they go.
Cool. I'll go over here and wait for the rest.
I catch sight of this halfling.
You have just moved through
Oh,
area
shit.
of steam
Sorry.
blast. Are you sure you
I'll-
want to do that? Like maybe you
Um,
start moving towards it, but then you like this pipe bursts
Yeah.
and throws out like this high-powered, very hot, scalding steam, and it sort of does it intermittently, so you might be able to jump through, but you're not sure if you can make it.
I'm going to attempt to jump through as it stops.
Okay. Can you make a dexterity initiative test for me to kind of time your jumping through at the right time? Okay. Yep. Not only do you get through, but you stunted as well. I'm not
I
entirely
guess I'll take inspiration
I
as
think
well.
you will because I'm not sure what. I don't think we have a stunt table for jumping through steam. But yes, you can pass through the steam successfully. You like kind of wait, just timing the motions of the steam going on and off, and then you just dart through. And on the other side, having survived the steam, you see that there is a halfling who has been trapped by what looks like a girder that's kind of fallen from the ceiling during the damage. And she's unconscious, or maybe barely conscious. You can sort of see her just kind of twitching slightly and moaning. But she's completely trapped underneath this metal girder that's fallen from the ceiling.
Like, is it across like her legs or
It's
her
pretty much
waist?
across her waist. Like it's
Okay.
right across her, and she is bleeding quite badly.
I'm going to attempt to shift the girders with Dexis.
Okay,
Like, as a
sure.
2-man effort.
Yeah, a strength might test.
Oh, it's going to be hard.
Whichever of you's got better strength, and
We've got the same because it's we're bonded,
oh yeah, I suppose
so
you
he
do.
works off of my ability stats.
You can have a +2 to the test to represent like that you've got two of you working on it. Okay, yeah. So Dexis kind of like puts claws underneath the girder, and Twig lifts with all her might, and just for a few moments you are able to lift this girder up high enough for, you know, to just shuffle it over a few feet to the side and get it off her, and she's free. She kind of like looks up at you blearily and goes, "Thank you, whoever you are."
I wink and I say, "The name's Twig. Tell stories about me," and then I rush through to the next room.
Okay. As you rush away, she goes, "Wait, Twig. I have something to tell you." And she sort of points down. She points this way, like down into that room, and she goes, "You're not from here, so I guess you're up to no good. But since you helped me, look in the conveyor belt room. It'll help you." And then she kind of like loses consciousness.
Right, I'm going to investigate the room.
Okay. Do you want to make a quick perception searching test for me in the conveyor belt room? Wow. Also a bunch of stunt points.
Good.
Apparently, I am on a roll today.
But
Seeing as this is an investigation one.
Yeah.
Oh, let me just bring the thing up. I'm going to do rapid deduction and could be a clue because we're on a time limit, obviously.
Okay, sure. So could be a clue. You kind of maybe have a quick. Your first instinct is to look around these metal shelves that have these various crates and boxes on, and you kind of instinctively pocket a few nuts and bolts and bits of scrap metal that you find kind of just lying around on that tool shelf. And for sorry, was the other rapid duction? Yeah. So, but you're moving quickly, and you quickly decide that the crates aren't what you're looking for. So then you sort of cast your eye over at the conveyor belt, and you basically see that this conveyor belt is for transporting stuff from this room into another room, and that there's actually a small mechanical hatch that leads from this conveyor belt through into another room.
Okay. I'm going to go down it.
Okay, cool. So you and Indexis sort of hop on the conveyor belt. It's not moving; it's turned off. But you guys kind of crawl through the hatch and end up on the other side. The rest of you guys are kind of over here. What would you like to do while Twig's doing this?
Onward.
Onward it is. Okay, cool.
Can I cast Stone Cloak?
Yes, you certainly can. Just roll to cast it.
Oops. Oh,
Does that work?
yeah.
Okay, sorry, remind me what Stonecloak does. I'm not massively familiar with it.
On the toughness of stone wall, the cloak gives you an armor rating. I think it's equal. Gives me armor rating equal to my willpower ability. Willpower ability for 1
so
hour.
you've got improved armor.
But I get 2 stun points.
Oh, yeah, you do.
So I'm gonna do. Oh, I can't do less than. I'm gonna do power. I'm gonna reduce it.
Fair enough. It seems the sensible one to use. Okay, so you use your Stonecloak to protect yourself.
So that means I have 5. So that means I have like my willpower's worth of armor, doesn't it?
Yes.
So I have 5 armor.
Nice. That may come in handy. You never know. Does anyone else want to do anything before heading into the next area?
I'll take my gun now.
Sure. I think given you're very much in the heart of an enemy structure, it's fair to say you guys have your weapons ready if you need them.
I know I missed last week's session, Morphe, but
Yeah.
you know the thunder horn thing that I had? Have I figured out what it actually does yet?
No. All you know is that it comes from a special bird that has an affinity with storm magic, and it gives you a bonus to your spell power for lightning spells. But
Okay,
you don't,
fine.
you haven't had any chance to find out more about these Thunderbirds or to travel to Thunder Peak. So no, you don't know any more about it. It's just an interesting magically charged trinket at this point.
Okay, no worries. Just thought I'd check.
We can make an expedition someday. I'll volunteer.
It could be interesting.
I will hold it for now, for good luck.
Okay. So, yeah, you guys, other than Twig, who's gone through the conveyor belt hatch, the rest of you guys progress down this metal corridor, and you move through into a series of corridors. So, moving on from the boiler room, things become less noisy, but you do hear kind of far off the echoing sounds of what seems like an alert klaxon. Like that kind of wah, wah, wah noise. It just echoes through the hallways. And there's also, you kind of moving through this corridor that has metal floors and metal walls, so your footsteps are kind of loud and they like reverberating off all the metal. And also somewhere in the distance, you guys can maybe hear 2 people shouting at each other, but you're not quite sure where that's coming from because everything's very echoey in here. So, Twig and Dexys come through this conveyor belt hatch, and they find themselves in this what looks like a sort of a small storage room, and there's a couple of crates lined up here, but not much else in this room. It seems mostly for storage. The rest of you guys come through into this sort of large, long corridor, and what you see is it's mostly empty, but up ahead you can see on this raised platform there is a young dwarf woman with sort of black tattoos, and she's sort of standing by these two levers. And you also notice that sort of to the side of you there are these two kind of metal trenches, which you can't see in too much detail at the moment, but they seem to be sort of essentially from this point onwards there is like a very sharp metal drop, and the only thing going over it is this large linked chains and these platforms suspended on the chain. You also, at the very far end of this corridor, you can see these two spinning metal, very sharp blades that appear to be connected to some sort of large axle that goes up into the ceiling. So you guess that's not a place you're supposed to go. It's like got something to do with the mechanical workings of the mining platform.
That seems safe. Workplace hazard.
So this dwarf on the platform hasn't spotted you. She seems to be like fiddling with the second lever over here and muttering to herself about something.
Can I see if Spret can just charge her from behind and like knock her prone or knock her down or something?
Yeah, sure. I mean, if Spret's gonna sneak up, she'll have to make a stealth check to do
I was
that.
thinking it was more of like a blood curdling bear
Oh,
roar
you mean like
that she
a
charged.
charge?
Yeah. Like, and just charge into her and knock her away from the.
Yeah, I mean, if you
Controls.
want to charge, just yeah, you can go for it. Maybe if you, I mean, charge is sort of like a move and an attack, so maybe if you just have Spret roll a basic melee attack against her, and she'll just see if she can, as long as
Basic
Spret
melee
hits, then the operator will get knocked down.
Okay, is this strength or I don't know what she uses for
Fighting to hit.
that. Fighting. Okay.
I'm assuming she's still in bear form, dragon bear thing, isn't she?
Yeah. 16 with 1 stunt point.
Okay, yeah. So bear mode Spret goes charging along this walkway here. At the last moment, the dwarf sort of turns around in complete surprise and is sent hurtling by this sort of barrel charge, and is knocked on the ground. Basically, maybe she hits her head and is just knocked unconscious immediately. It just makes this kind of like sigh noise and falls unconscious.
Oh. Oh well.
She was knocked unconscious or she was knocked dead? Sorry, I missed that.
Well,
Okay, right.
she went pretty limp, but you're gonna assume that maybe Spret's senses tell you that she's still alive, so she's just
But I hold a mirror to her mouth to see if she's still breathing.
So Garrix moves up to one of these metal trenches. He kind of like has a look down, and sort of looking down through these trenches, they actually go quite deep, and you can see bits of machinery and maybe the tops of the caterpillar tracks are down there. So just to the side of where Garrick's standing, things descend very quickly into machinery, maybe about 20 feet below. So it's a sheer drop, and then into giant cogs and wheels and stuff. So it doesn't look particularly great down there. But as I said, there are these metal chains and these platforms suspended on the chains that look like they're used for transporting people back and forth.
I'll yell to the others that go check if those levers move these platforms. That's kind of the only thing I can think of.
Okay.
Can Sprat use one of the levers?
Yeah, she can try. Yes.
Just gonna bite one of the levers and pull it.
Which one does she want to pull?
The top one, Garrick. I assume that operates the top lever, the top platform. So.
Yes. Intuitively, that does then move the platform at the top. Kind of moves along. And kind of like the chain rattles and pulls the platform along, and then like locks into place in front of Garrick.
Does it seem very stable?
Yeah, it's pretty stable. Like it's clearly designed for this purpose. Like it's a large, solid metal platform. Like you can fit a couple of people on it. No problem.
I'll step on.
Okay.
Do we know where we're actually meant to be going roughly? Or we just go run
No.
around?
Twig might know. Where's Twig?
I'm over
Twig!
here.
Twig, what are you doing?
Twig.
So I'm this side, and I'm going to pull up my my shadow cloak because I'm on my own, feeling pretty vulnerable.
Sure. Yeah.
So I want to just sort of like try and like stealth my way through and see if I can find something. Really, what I'm looking for is something that looks like it will further disrupt the like mechanisms going on around here. So like any sort of like array of switches or valves or whatever.
Okay. Do you want to make a perception searching test for me? See if you can find anything of use around here.
Oh my god.
Wow. Okay. Sure. Well, you get your stump points. I'm not sure.
Does this go under investigation?
This can be investigation or exploration. It's your call. I think both are applicable. And yes, Garrett, Shaq does have a good point about make sure you've got your new. Oh, that's a good point. The icons themselves need their health updated, so make sure you've
Yeah.
added that on. We should
Some people have.
start.
Yeah. Some people have more health than max health, so they have to be balanced.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna do elementary.
Of course. Okay. Well. Right. So you find a couple of things. Obviously, the first thing you find is you're searching for stuff in terms of the inner workings. You find this sort of pressure valve with a giant wheel on it and several dials around it, and you immediately identify it as something used to kind of move steam pressure throughout the structure. So it's probably got the same vulnerabilities that the pipes in the boiler room that were struggling with the pressure has. So that's what you find from just your basic test is like, yeah, if you mess with that, it'll probably mess with the inner workings of Big Bertha. But
That would be good.
while it's written in a sort of basic machine code, your elementary deduction sort of draws your attention to this metal plaque that's kind of welded onto the wall, and with some knowledge of sort of machine specifications, Twig looks at this like metal plaque, and it shows her that basically kind of shows her how the various power distribution of this whole structure kind of works. So you've got steam pipes like this which are sort of moving pressure around, and that does most of the workings. But there also seems to be reference to some magical energy transference things. So as far as you can tell, there are two kind of important power sources going through this. There's the steam powers, which is in the pipes, and there seems to be a lot of steam power heading upward. And there's magical power, and if I can draw your attention down to the bottom left of the map, kind of like judging from the plaque that you've been looking at, there's some magical focus in the section down this way, and also further down below.
Okay.
So that was a little bit long-winded, but basically, the pipe valve you're standing next to would sabotage you, and that would cause some damage. But there's also magical conduits in the bottom of the map, and like physically lower than you in the structure.
Okay, so I'm gonna whack this pipe with my wrench, and it gets a bonus to things that are mechanical. Does more damage.
Okay. I'm just gonna assume that you hit it because it's a stationary object. Just roll some damage with your bonus. Just see how much you can do. Yeah, okay, so you basically smash this thing, and the flywheel breaks off, and the pipe very quickly ruptures, and you duck back quickly out the way as blasting hot steam erupts from this pipe. And those alert klaxons that you've kind of been hearing vaguely off in the distance, they suddenly get louder as a big red light flashes in the corridors that you're in. And that warning sound of wah, 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 that gets very much louder very quickly as the corridors you're in are sort of plunged into basically like red alert mode. So the lights kind of dim a bit and they switch to a red color.
Can I attempt to hide before people arrive?
Yeah, if you very quickly make a stealth check. Okay, yes. So you what do you want to do with your stealth?
I want to just sort of hide in this room.
Okay, yeah. So you just kind of like very quickly sort of sneak in there and find something to kind of like maybe some pipes.
Are there any crates? Can I solid snake this thing?
Yes, maybe there's a crate that you and Dexys can just kind of like duck behind. And then a couple of seconds later, these two guards, who are kind of like very fancily dressed cowboy elves, like they've got very nice white cowboy clothes, and they have various arc-forged gadgets equipped on them, as well as noticeably, very large guns. They come running to find out what's happened, and you hear one of them just kind of swear and say to the other, "God, everything's going to hell. Why can't the boss just like invest a bit in some proper safe equipment?" And the other guy goes, "I think it's more serious than that. Like, do you hear those explosions earlier? Something's going on." So while Twig is crouched through there, you guys are over on the other side. What do you want to do?
All aboard
We'll jump in.
the kick-ass train. All aboard the murder taxi.
What could possibly go wrong?
Is there space?
There's space for about 4 of you to get on a platform.
Probably don't want to split up too much though,
Yeah.
like leaving someone on their own. I mean, Crowsec and Blackwolf probably alright on their own with Spret.
True. But there's really nowhere else to go than across these platforms.
Well, I'll have to make 2 trips anyway, so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go down and see if I can fiddle with this, or these big spinning blades.
Sounds healthy.
What have I got in my inventory? Has anyone got a chain?
Oh, I do, but I'm on the other side of the map.
Um,
Oh no, I don't, because the chain is incorporated into the. Oh, actually, the grappling hook. If you've got one.
I don't have one.
Ah,
I have a Makahito, but I don't. I guess I should just.
shouldn't try and jam it in the mechanism.
Yeah.
Depends how attached to the Makahito you are.
There's bound to be some chains around here somewhere.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Can I do a search to see if I can find some chains? Maybe search the platform operator.
You look around and you check the platform operator, but she doesn't have any chains on her, and this area is fairly bare. It seems to mostly be a kind of loading bay area.
Okay. I'll use my. Can I? What exactly is it? Are they like knee height? These spinning death blades, or what? What are they used for?
They're about about kind of like waist height. They look like they're maybe similar to giant cogs, like they're turning, and like where the blades touch like a groove in the wall, they're like then turning other mechanisms kind of within that groove. So they're clearly like
Okay.
part of some larger machinery. It's not entirely clear to you what purpose they serve, but the edges do look pretty wicked sharp.
Let me check my inventory quickly. See what I can
Okay.
do silly stuff with. Um, okay, I've got some weird tonic, some cloud mesa rock samples, and some hornet antitoxin, and maybe some hobgoblin blood.
Everything the Boy
And some
Scout adventurer needs.
and some flint and steel. Can I try and like make some kind of makeshift bomb using my alchemy?
Well, what stuff do you have in your pack that might denote you can or not?
I used all my fucking thunder and stuff files as well, didn't I? I want to check to see if there's like anything explosive in the rock samples that I have. Maybe there's like gunpowder. I don't know.
I
How.
seem to remember when you got those, they were fairly
Standard rocks.
yeah, they were like
weren't they?
geological rock samples. They weren't of anything. They might be of interest to, you know, a scientist, but they're not like super special rare rocks or anything. They're just rocks.
Okay, can I? I'm gonna suggest something. I'm gonna get like a bottle. I'm gonna
Okay.
shove some gauze in the bottle, which I have 10 meters of.
Yeah.
I'm going to soak the gauze in some weird tonic. I'm going to mix in some hobgoblin blood because I know it's kind of weird and reactive with magic. And because I have some of Axel's hobgoblin blood because he had blood fever. I remember taking some, so I'm guessing that's really like gone weird by this point.
Yeah.
And I'm going to mix in some hornet venom for good measure, and then light it from a safe distance. Just give it a really, really good shake, and then light it using the gauze.
Okay.
And
Sure.
just kind of roll it underneath these two spinning blades, and then light it.
Okay. We can treat this as a grenade. So if you just want to make like it's a throwing attack. So
Such as accuracy.
let's make an accuracy just to make sure you can roll it in well.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Okay.
Oh no!
What the fuck?
You drastically miscalculated. And as you sort of kneel down to roll this thing in, the improvised grenade blows up in your face
Oh god.
and sends you and Spret sprawling onto the ground.
Away from the blades, I hope.
Yes,
Okay.
fortunately away, but you take 8 points of damage.
8, Jesus Christ. Okay. Can I try and heal myself up a little bit with some of my other medical supplies?
Yes.
I've
Yes,
got
you-
Chirurgy, so. How does heal work? I heal 8 health. So screw you, Wolfie.
Fair enough then. You have survived. You've left a small kind of smoking explosive debris area, kind of just short of your intended target. But at least with some quick thinking and a little magic, you're able to sort of heal the burn marks off your face. It's a good job that Saurians don't have eyebrows, because you would have lost them.
Yeah, it's fine.
Right, so the other guys are kind of on the platform, but you'll need someone to pull the lever to actually make that move across.
I'll pull the lever.
Okay, sure. So you pull the lever, and these guys are transported over to the other side. With much clanking of machinery and chains.
Hmm.
Don't think you meant to go that way, Garrick. You went for a wall.
Oh.
There you go. Okay, so you three kind of emerge in this corridor. You can hear these two guards off to your right down the corridor, just kind of like cursing and talking about this blasted steam pipe that's ruptured. And down this way, that shouting that I mentioned earlier, you can hear much clearer now, echoing through these metal hallways. You can hear someone yelling, "Just come to me, just hurry up!" And another voice going, "No, I can't, I'm too scared, I'm gonna get hurt." These guards have not seen you, but if they turned around, they probably would notice you at this point. The other two on the other side, do you want to get across as well, or are you going to stay where you are? So Krosek and Black Wolf, really.
If I go across this lower bridge, that shotgunner guard's probably going to see me. So
All of the tokens on my screen have like shifted up one, or I think maybe the environment has moved.
Yeah, I had to reload too.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think I hit something by accident. If it looks weird, just try reloading. It should be okay.
Yeah, it fixed it for me.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, to fix it.
hmm.
I should have learned from last week, or no, from the week before with the airship, just to stay in the tokens layer and not mess with the map. It does bad stuff.
Well, one of us is going to have to stay behind to pull the lever, either way.
That's Brett do it.
Yeah,
And
but
then
then how's Brett going to get across?
you resummon it.
Can he fly?
It uses a lot of mana.
You could bully the operator into doing it.
You'd have to resuscitate
She's
her,
unconscious.
but-
Yeah. I'll
Okay,
see if I can find a way through. It's fine. I don't want to leave Brett by herself. Can I call the top platform back across?
Yeah.
We could just kill the woman and then I could res it and then get the zombie to do it.
No, not murdering more people.
You haven't murdered anyone yet.
We're not murdering
Not this week.
innocent people.
They're not innocent, they work for Reinhold.
Yeah, but
Indeed.
They
We
have,
can't really make our way without killing something.
you guys are law people as well. You can't just justify killing anyone you feel like.
I'm not a law person, I'm a fucking barbarian from
Well-
the cold north.
Look,
Well-
I'm sure we have some sort of quota to fill.
Yeah, maybe to make things easier, Krosik is able to see that like you can kind of jimmy the lever, so like it like works on a bit of a timer. Like if you kind of shove
okay.
it into a position, it will then slowly go click, click, click down. So you've
I'll-
got time to kind of set it and then get on the platform if you want to.
It's okay. I'll stay here and pull the lever. It's fine.
I've
I'll
got
find a
a
way.
question. Why can't Twig just fly back and then fly?
Well, Twig is kind of stuck right now.
We
Oh,
don't
no.
actually know where Twig is.
Yeah. Yeah. Also that.
Okay, so Krosik pulls the lever and Black Wolf is transported over to the other side. So yeah, you guys are sort of in this situation where you're about to be spotted if either this patrol guard down here or these guards up here by Twig turn around. But they're both
I need to be right
preoccupied
back.
right
Sorry.
now. Okay. So you've maybe got a short amount of time before someone inevitably turns around and spots you.
I prepare for the moment when someone spots me, so I'll shoot at that point. But not before.
Okay, fair enough. So maybe these two guards who are looking at the damage that Twig caused, they say, "Well, I guess we better call it in. Just hope the boss man's in a good mood today." And they both turn around and start to head back to their posts. And as they do, they see you guys. They go, "Suffering Succotash!" And they both very quickly, instantly go for their guns. So at this point, I'll have to ask you guys to roll some initiative. Right, just bear with me for a minute while I add this stuff onto the turn order. And Dart and Twig have the same. I'm going to give a slight advantage to Twig just because she's kind of stealthed and already hidden away in a good position. And similarly, I guess I'll give Garrick some priority just because he's like in the immediate situation. So just roll for the guards quickly. Okay, they're actually, despite going for the guns pretty quickly, they're a bit on the slow side. So you're all going to get a chance to go before them.
You might as well just skip this. They're going to be dead.
They could have special powers. You don't know.
True that.
Are they
Unless they're
immortal?
Neo from the Matrix,
No,
they're
oh no.
probably dead.
Are they immortal? Because Garrick's going to kill them.
Okay, well, speaking of Garrick, Garrick gets to react first as these guys spot you and go for their guns.
Yeah,
What kind of guns do they have?
They are both armed with dual pistols.
Okay. Hmm.
I'm back. Hello.
Welcome back. Garrick's about to shoot someone in the face.
Oh, lovely.
But I have to disarm them, but they have dual pistols, so no can do.
Double disarm them.
Indeed.
Chop
Well,
their arms off.
That
Shoot them in the ball.
Should do. I'll shoot. I'll just shoot. Let's
Okay,
see what.
which one do you want to shoot?
Fucking murder hobos.
Left one.
For fuck's sake.
I'll take aim and fire.
Sure, yeah.
If I want to hit his pistol, it's in the holster, so it won't like bounce off when I shoot it. So it's not gonna be useful.
But it might
So
break.
I'll just-
Yeah? Well, that definitely hits. But there's
I'll shoot the left one.
Okay. Roll some damage for me. Before you ask, their dexterity is lower than yours.
Yay!
Okay, so you shoot this guy, and he just kind of like is slammed against the wall by the force of the bullet, and he's quite seriously injured. Kritik, over on the other side, you hear a gunshot.
Okay. Oh, I sigh. And I pat the unconscious face of the operator, and I say, at least I managed to save you from their bloodthirsty ways. And then I can't do that. I was going to try and use her body to block the gear, the spinning gears. I can't do that.
You could.
Oh dear.
Fuck,
Whether
no.
you should is a question you have to resolve yourself.
It's a moral dilemma of sorts. I'm going to try and smash it with the Macahital first. And,
Oh, what, the spinning blades?
yeah, give it another shot.
Okay. So you move up, stepping through the kind of debris that is maybe clearing from your
Yeah.
little makeshift grenades. What do you want to do? Just shove the sword in?
Well, what are the gears made out of? Are they made of metal or are they made
They're
of
made
wood?
of a kind
or...
of bronze-colored metal, yeah.
And what's my Macahital made? It's like really sharp obsidian, isn't
Obsidian, yeah.
it? Yeah.
So it's pretty tough,
Mhm.
but
In Minecraft, obsidian is stronger than bronze, so
that is true in
logically
Minecraft.
thinking, I'm going
However, during the Spanish invasion of the Aztec lands, I'm not sure if
They did have guns, Wolfie.
Isn't obsidian like the sharpest thing we know?
it's pretty sharp.
It's also very brittle.
not anymore, but it's pretty strong. So I'm
I'm
gonna
not
try
disputing
and
its sharpness. I'm saying it might struggle if shoved into moving machinery.
before I shove it, I'm going to try and smash like overhead.
Okay, so maybe you're going more for the axles than the
Yeah, just to
blades.
see if I can actually smash the thing apart. Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
I'm
sure,
back.
you can do that.
Okay. Is that a strength?
I'll assume
might?
you can hit, so you just want to roll for damage
Okay.
because it's a static object.
12. Oh, that wasn't a bad roll, but it wasn't a great roll.
Does it do 3d6 damage?
Macahital does 3d6 damage.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you swing this giant like toothed obsidian sword, and it just like shatters through one of the axles, and there's a great groaning sound, and the blades sort of stop spinning and come to a halt.
Both of them, or just one?
Both of them, because when one stops, it kind of jams the other one from turning.
Okay, right. Does it look like they're going to start turning again, or is it probably
No,
safe?
they seem to have shuddered to a pretty much complete halt, and up above you, you can hear like crunching gear sounds, and the sort of you hear maybe feel a bit of a tremor going through like the whole area.
Oh, fantastic! Right, I'm gonna. Well, whilst just you can like, whilst everything else happens, I'll just be clambering over this and making my way down south.
Okay, fair enough. In that case, we will switch to Twig's go. Twig and Dexys are still hiding behind crates in this room and have not been spotted by the guards.
Right. I'm going to like come up behind. So are they facing like over here?
Yes,
the
they are.
guards?
They have just noticed these guys, so they're facing this way, and indeed have just been shot from this direction. So they're very much focused on Garrick.
I'm gonna come up behind this masked bloke, and I'm gonna swing my I'm gonna swing Clunk into the back of his head, or I'm gonna aim for it anyway.
Okay, yeah, sure. If you want to roll to hit, which I'll give you a +1 to hit because you're kind of sneaking up on him from behind.
And I've got +1 to hit because it's a named object.
Named object being his skull.
Well, no. The
Oh, I see.
The-
The weapon is a name.
The wrench is called Clunk.
Oh, I see.
It's a
right.
named object.
His skull also
Uh,
has a name, whatever this poor bastard's
It's
name is.
+2, and then I get +1 from fighting. So I've got +3.
Yeah, that'll hit. So you bring a giant wrench smashing onto this guy's head. Probably
And it
crumpling his
does.
nice white cowboy hat that he's got on. So that hat's ruined forever.
It's not very good safety equipment, is it? It's just.
It's not. Also, in addition to his hat, you smash the guy's skull in, and he collapses to the floor in a bloody pile.
Oh my god.
Ooh. Brutal.
How big is this wrench in relation to Twig? I'm just wondering.
I mean, it's as big as she is.
Right, so you've basically
Like-
like flown up in the air and just done this. Okay, interesting. Murder
And then
pixie.
I just sort of stand there and go, "You just got clunked."
The guard says nothing because he's dead from being clunked.
His teeth are sticking through the roof of his skull.
Yeah, his hat is completely ruined and now bloodstained. I don't know why I'm focusing on the hat. Dart, it is your go. You've just seen this guard get taken out from behind by Twig. But there is still one standing next to where that guy was.
Okay, so walk up and stab him.
Stabbing is a valid option, yeah.
Is he wearing armor?
She is wearing kind of like leather cowboy armor, you know, like a big dust coat and
Yeah.
that kind of thing. That will hit. Ooh, okay. So you stab her with the spear and yeah, do quite a lot of damage to her. She sort of staggers back with a bleeding hole in her side. Black Wolf, what would you like to do? Black Wolf,
Well, sorry.
it's your turn.
Your go.
Yeah.
Is that an action?
Yeah. I'm just imitating one of my zombies.
Black Wolf has had a seizure.
I'm not really with it, if you can tell.
Well, to be fair,
Yeah.
you had a root canal today, right? So we'll forgive you.
Yeah, that's not fun.
I'm just gonna do nothing.
Okay, if you're sure. You can
Mhm.
always delay, and then if you want to jump in, you can say.
Yeah, because of where I am, I can't, and I'm imagining that I can't really get past.
You can walk through allies if you want to.
I know, but I don't want to. I'm a mage. I want to stay behind people.
Ah, okay, fair enough. In that case, we'll jump to Theo. And yeah, if Black Wolf wants to sort of jump in at some point, you can always have delayed your turn and come in when you want.
I'll move there and shoot the gun.
Yeah, sure. Roll tip, please. You hit, and you get 3 stomp points.
Gee.
I'll use Mighty Blow.
Okay, roll for damage with the extra d6 then, please.
There we go. Massive
Yeah.
blast.
Okay, so Theo steps through into the corridor, aims a shot, and just shoots this guard through the head. And she crumples to the ground next to her comrade. Then it is the turn of the remaining guards. The sound of gunfire has attracted the other guards on the level. So this shotgunner guard is going to come running around the corridor with and readying a shotgun. This patrol guard moves forward and opens fire at Theo as the nearest target.
No.
So he draws his gun and just like fires off a shot at point blank range at you. Will 13 hit?
Yep.
And stunted, so it's going to go with a lightning attack to fire twice. So I'll roll another shot. Ah, that one's going to miss. Fires twice, but in his eagerness, one of them goes wide. I'll roll damage for that first shot that hit. Nine damage.
Ouch.
And just as you're recovering from that, you hear these sort of big thumping metal footsteps on the floor as a guard clad in full mechanical Iron Bull armor comes walking through the hallway carrying a extremely large double-barreled shotgun. And he lifts it, loads it, and fires in one swift motion. So those of you in the 6-yard radius, which is 6 yards by 2, isn't it? So basically, he's going to fire directly ahead and hit Dart and Black Wolf in the shotgun blast. So he rolls once and it's applied against both. 15 against Dart and Black Wolf's defense.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Yeah, mine's 14.
Okay, and you both get hit for...
Not my precious health.
13 damage.
That's not penetrating, is it?
No, that's not penetrating, it's a regular shotgun blast. So you will get your stone cloak armor, and Dart's just got good armor anyway, so it's not too bad, but you do get some buckshot to the face.
What's your armor, Kenny? I have better armor than you, even though I'm a mage.
You also have like ridiculous health as well, don't you?
Yeah, because I got really lucky with all my health rolls, so I've got like 67 health.
Wow.
Bloody hell.
It is then Garrick's turn. You've just seen a large mechanical bull enter the room and blast your friends with a shotgun.
Not today, my friend. I'll aim and shoot.
Okay. Roll to hit. That will hit, although you've lost your stunt mojo so far today.
Yes.
I think I've had it.
Yeah, Twig clearly stole it.
Indeed. I probably have better dexterity.
Yes, no. This thing actually has -1 dexterity, so you're good.
Oh my god.
21 damage. So you fire a shot that hits the Iron Bull, kind of right in its kind of large metal mask and shoots through the mouth, and you kind of hear a cry from inside it. It staggers back for a moment, but it is still standing on its feet.
Impressive.
Krosek, unless you'd like to say otherwise, I believe you were still crawling over machinery down in the corner.
I'm happy to just be clambering. Probably
Okay.
got no idea that any of this is going on.
You just hear a load of shots echoing down these metal corridors.
That's nothing new to me, so it just doesn't bother me.
Twig, you are flying in the middle of the corridor holding Clunk.
Yes. So I've got two questions.
Okay.
Do the iron balls count as a mechanical target or a humanoid target?
It is mechanized armor, so it's a mechanical target.
And as I've got plans,
You have studied their plans.
do I know of any weak points on the mechanical balls themselves?
You did study them. Make a mechanical law test for me just to see what you remember from when you looked at them. But you have an excellent memory. It's like you can just imagine those blueprints perfectly in your mind. From what you remember, there is a possible weak point on the back of the neck because they had to put lighter armor plating in the neck just so that the big metal head could move around to some degree.
Okay.
So a strike to the back of the neck might prove effective.
Right, as I'm already flying, I want
Yep.
to... I don't know if this will work or not. I want to sort of dive him using the actual fancy age rules of diving.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yeah, use those often, but they-
I make a melee attack against a ground opponent. A character who is flying can move a number of yards, equal double their flying speed, and make a melee attack against the person on the ground.
Yep.
I get a 1+ to the mechanical attack roll and damage roll.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. Swoop down and strike.
Yeah, so I think I get... That means a +1 to hit then, so I'm back to 3.
That will hit.
And I get +1 to the actual damage itself, so...
Okay. And yeah, with your knowledge, that actually shatters something important in the ball's mechanical armor, and you hear a sort of strangled cry from inside, and then suddenly the suit just kind of goes limp and slumps forward. It stays on its feet, but it's clear that the occupant has died from the impact of your strike.
I don't have a witty remark for this one.
I think everyone is perhaps in stunned silence at just how murderous a Fae with a blunt instrument apparently can be.
I think
Oh
we
my
need
dear
to
God.
do some counselling after this.
I'm going to add 2 notches to my wrench.
Okay. It's Dart's go. The immediate threats around you have been taken out. If you sort of look over your shoulder at these two guards, they are still there, but they are suddenly looking slightly unsure about their position in this corridor.
I'm gonna try and yell at them, intimidate them into giving up.
Okay, what does Dart say to them to try and intimidate them?
Drop your weapons, or you'll end up like these 3.
Yeah, seems a reasonable argument. You roll the intimidation check for me, please, and then I'll roll willpower. They do get they have a focus and morale, so they do get a bit of a bonus. It's even. So they actually hold their ground, like they kind of look at each other and they waver a little bit, but the shotgunner guard just kind of says, "Don't listen to him, he's just a hobgoblin. Get him." You still have, you can still move and act if you want to, Dart.
Oh, in that case, I'm gonna move up and stab the shotgun guard.
Fair enough. She did insult you.
Should have listened.
Okay, you hit. Okay, yeah, so you give her a quick stab with the spear, and she cries out in surprise at suddenly being attacked, and she just, like, swears. And she, like, puts a hand over the bloody hole that you've made. Black Wolf, do you want to move?
Yeah, I'm going to move there.
Yep.
And I'm going to attack the dude with the bladed end of my staff.
Oh, yeah, sure, go for it.
Did we ever find out what happened to Baron Vul?
You lost track of him.
Is that enough to hit?
Damn it.
That won't, I'm afraid. You're just a little bit short. There's a swing and a miss.
She's still getting used to it.
Yeah, to be fair. She's not used to melee. Baron Vul, basically what happened was Black Wolf had a sense of where he was going, but it wasn't followed up on, and by the time anyone mentioned it, everyone had already got to the Clicknid city, at which point, basically, the trail had gone cold. You'd lost track of him. So he's out there somewhere
We need to
with a hive
kill
queen's
him.
soul.
take his stuff.
Okay, so Black Wolf attacks but fails. It's then Theo's go.
Hmm. Were the guards like running away?
They almost ran away, but they decided to hold their ground, and now they're under attack.
Okay, I shoot the shotgun aircraft.
Okay, sure.
I'll aim and use the penetrating shot thingy.
Yeah, okay, sure. That'll definitely hit.
Yep.
And that will kill.
Indeed.
So, a moment ago she insulted Dart. Dart jumped forward and stabbed her, and then there's this shot. And Dart turned around just to see Theo kind of with a smoking pistol. And a very rude guard is on the floor. At this point, I think it's fair to say the patrol guard probably gives up on his fight and surrenders to you guys. So he just, like, throws his gun down on the floor, steps back, and goes, "Hey, you know what, guys? This is just a job. I just needed some money to feed my wife and 8 starving children. You know how it is, right?"
Sure.
So we're good, yeah? You guys just carry on with whatever you're doing, and I'm gonna go hide in a closet. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me. Start licking it.
Okay, he runs down the corridor, kind of like looking over his shoulder like he's expecting you to shoot him in the back. And he runs down this way here, and then just, like, jumps into this side room. And you don't see him anymore. He's just presumably cowering inside. So that's the immediate threat of the guards taken care of. I'd suggest that now is probably a good time to take a short break, and then you guys can continue to explore the inside of the mining platform.
Yep.
Cool. So give it 10 minutes.
Yep.
Okay.
Oi.
Hello. I'm just gonna
Hello.
grab a cup of tea and then I'll be ready.
Yep.
I'm not sure. My kettle's just brewing downstairs, so we can. I'm happy to get started whilst I make it. Though.
I'm here.
I think Tolly's here as well.
Yeah, I said I was here. I just said hello. I went, hello.
I think it's because you did it in that deep voice that I do not associate with.
Hello. Hi. I'm Tolly.
Hi.
I'm Tolly.
No, you sound like
Hello.
the precursor head from Jack and Daxter, and it really upsets me.
Okay, so you have managed to successfully dispatch the guards in this section of the platform. You can still hear alarms. There's still alarms going off, and the damage that Twig did to the pipe seems to be pumping out increasing amounts of steam into the area, and it's getting rather hot and uncomfortable. As far as you guys can see, there are a number of routes you can go. There's this area where Twig is. You can see there's a staircase that appears to be heading up, and there's a sign that is labelled Control Center. Whereas this way, where the Iron Bull was guarding, there is a staircase going down, and it says Arc Chamber in big red letters. There's also whatever's going on down here, or down these corridors, and Krisik's been climbing through some machinery. So, where would you like to head to?
Does Dart know which way we should be going, roughly?
Well, Tweak, do you remember, or do you have the
Okay.
I've still got the plans on me.
Yeah.
So, should we get
Check
the
our
plans out and have a look?
Also, well, never mind. Let's check the blueprints.
Dark chamber sounded promising.
What is it that you're looking to find on the blueprints?
A route to the center of the center room.
Okay, based on Twig's knowledge from successfully testing on this before, her best guess would be that those stairs head the arc chamber below you seems a good bet for what you're looking for, in that there is a large chamber situated somewhere below you, and those stairs goes down, and it's labelled chamber. So that seems to be the right call on that one.
Yeah, let's go then.
Okay.
Is the upper one?
It was the lower one.
Scared engineer can just continue to be scared.
Okay, so I'm just gonna shuffle you guys together so I can copy you over with more ease. Right.
Where's Flossie?
He's going a different way, but
Yep.
as luck would have it, he might happen to be ending up in a similar kind of location. So you guys head down these kind of winding metal staircases, and as you head down, you see a number of warning signs which get increasingly large, and they say things like warning, danger ahead, and then finally one very large one that says Reinhold Industries cannot be held responsible for accidental injury, death, or unintended resurrection from death as a result of entering this area.
I see.
And the lower you get, you find that your scouts begin to tingle and the hairs stand up on your arms, and the air feels thick with static electricity, and there's this overwhelming smell like burned hair. Krosek, who has been sort of managed to climb through these mechanical discs, finds himself heading down a kind of sloping tunnel, and he finds the same sensation that as he heads down. There is this awful burnt hair smell, and he can feel the staticky feeling in the air. And as you
Magic.
guys descend, you eventually get to the bottom of the stairs or tunnels that you're in. And oh no, don't want to be there. You didn't see that. That's not a thing. You actually come out in down to some sort of large engine chamber. And you're not all really going to fit in this very well, so I'm just going to sort of shove you in as best as I can. I think Garrett goes at the front. And I genuinely didn't fix this, but like this is where this goes, so it's worked out relatively well. Krosik and Spret on their little adventure, they happen, if you look down the bottom left corner, they come out through a different set of stairs that comes out there.
This looks like a fun place for mages.
Indeed.
So you sort of come out into this, or the main group of you come out into this control room, and from the control room you can see into this very large chamber, inside which are the largest collection of weird ore crystals that you've ever seen. And as you watch, you see arcane lightning burst from the smaller crystals towards the larger ones, and then from those larger crystals it leaps across the room over to this sort of shadowy figure who is contained within a kind of bubble of energy. And in this control room that you've walked into, there is a sort of orc shaman who is holding a totem in each hand, and the totems are kind of burning with this red glow when she pushes them near to the chamber, and she yells out, "It's no good! The elemental wards ain't gonna hold!" And next to her is this hobgoblin in an engineer's uniform, and he's running between consoles and desperately pulling at levers and hitting buttons. And he says, "I can't do anything here either, darling. The whole mining platform's having power outages, and I can't get the containment back online." And then he runs over to this box on the wall, which has a little glass front. And you see inside this box is a rather heavy-duty looking pistol and some bullets. And the letters on the glass read, "Break only in emergency." And the hobgoblin looks at it and says, "There's only one thing for it. We have to kill the prisoner." Sort of walking into the room, and the two of them kind of stop and look at you with this like surprised look of, where the hell did you guys come from?
What's going on here?
Ain't nobody killing anybody but us.
Okay, they kind of back up into the room, and they go, "Wait a minute. You're not security. Who are you? What are you doing here?"
We're here to put this place to demolish the place. Although it looks like it's doing a fine job on itself.
"Hey, no, I can get it out of control," says the hobgoblin. "You guys just stay back. You don't know what you're doing. You don't even look like you're authorized to be down here."
Oh, we are definitely not authorized to be here. Which is precisely why we're here.
Okay, they
Should
kind
have
of,
taken the Reinhardt badges from the dead guards. Oh, rubbish.
they
Now,
push
what
up
is the-
further against the wall, and they say,
Now, what
"Hey,
is
now
the prisoner you were talking about?
the prisoner? There's no prisoner. We wouldn't imprison someone in a giant magical energy circuit. That'd be crazy."
I heard you stop lying, or I'll shoot a hole in your head.
Okay, the shaman steps forward and says, "There's a man, for want of a better word, inside the chamber. He's powering this whole shebang. our jobs are just to keep his powers under control so he doesn't blow the whole place up. But as you can see, things have gone rather wrong. Someone did something terrible to the boiler room, and now there's too much pressure.
Is the pressure building up nicely? I mean,
It was building up, but we managed to shunt some of it off. But things are still kind of unstable.
too bad. What is your job here, Owen? I saw you fiddling with some wards or totems.
I make the wards to stop the magical energies from escaping the chamber. If that stuff started getting out, it could cause power outages. It would overload the circuit breakers.
Okay. I'll look at the others. What should we do here?
Twig sort of like shuffles her way forward and holds up the plans that she'd stolen and says, right, we already know that we need to be here to stop this thing from destroying the landscape any further. Now you can either help us and we can power this thing completely down and we won't kill you, or, and she swings Clunk menacingly.
Oh, sorry, is that it? Is it just like ending on the note of
Yeah, like, or, and then it like is punctuated by the swinging sort of thunk of Clunk into my hand.
Okay, the Hobgoblin says, well, maybe on second thought, the not dying is a good option. So, here's the basic skinny on how it works. In an emergency like this, we're supposed to use the gun to shoot the prisoner, and then that'll take away Big Bertha's power source. But if we kill him, he should expel enough energy on his death to allow us to charge up the batteries, and that allows us to at least have enough power to get Big Bertha home to the nearest Reinhardt Industries outpost. That's what we were briefed to do in this kind of emergency.
Why do you keep referring to him as a prisoner? Who is he?
I don't know who he is. I just know that he's the guy they brought in to power this thing. Apparently there was some sort of other power source that they were supposed to be putting in here, but when it didn't come through, they brought in this guy. Hey, I'm just a technician. I don't really don't really have that kind of clearance level, you know.
Can I search the room that I'm in? Is there one of these break-in emergency gun boxes on the wall?
Yeah, you can look around there. This looks like kind of some sort of secondary control room. Like, it's got a few levers and dials and stuff, but it's a bit dusty and doesn't look particularly used. But yes, there is a similar box, like this kind of break-in emergency glass box that has this kind of rather large barreled pistol and 6 kind of, well, they look like bullets, but they're made of some sort of dark purple metal that you're not really familiar with.
Can I smash it and take the bullets and gun?
Yeah, sure. You smash the glass, and there's that kind of clinking sound as the glass falls to the floor, and you grab the gun and these 6 purple bullets.
Can I load it?
Yeah, sure. It can take 6 bullets in its chamber, so you can load all of them in.
So what do we think? Should we try and contain the magic guy to save him? Or
I was thinking,
should we just take him out?
I was thinking we should try to reroute the magic energy flow back to those crystals that could cause an overload, and it might also free that dude, so we can take him with us.
Are there any Hive Queen corpses around?
Just shoot
Strangely
you if you
enough,
say that.
No large, long dead, malevolent monsters. You sure, Wolfie? Don't think I can.
No, and like I don't even know what despicable acts you'd commit if you had such a thing.
Can I try and understand what's going on with this really big crystal in the middle? What it's doing? Can I do a?
I'll go in the room.
Well, let's do. I'll do Kurosek and then I'll do Garrick. So yeah,
Yep.
you want to make an arcane law check for me?
Yes.
Because depending on what happens, I might want to do something else.
Okay.
Okay. 16.
Okay, so I guess both with your knowledge and with your sort of magical senses, you can make a fairly educated guess that the massive sort of arrangement of weird ore crystal in the center here is sort of acting as a magnet's not quite the right technical word, but you know what I mean, like it's drawing in energy from these other crystals and kind of like it's the main charge. So all this energy is kind of flowing into this thing, but then whenever it reaches like a certain threshold, all that energy is grounded over here into whoever this guy is. And the kind of shunting of that power transfer from here to here is getting kind of sucked up into various like kind of magical vacuums, for want of a better word. Like think that when that energy jumps from here to here, the excess energy is getting drained off by machines, and then that
Right.
magic's kind of zooming off into different
It's being
parts of the
harnessed.
structure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What about the red ones?
Can I have some more information? Because I've got law novice.
Oh, you do. Damn it. Well, maybe we answer Garrett's question about the red ones. What you sense about the red ones is they seem to be bleeding off overcharge. So you've got
Okay.
stuff jumping over here, but every so often when the energy jumps, it's an extra big jolt, and it seems to be more than this magical prisoner guy can handle. So then like extra kind of magic radiation seems to shoot into these red ones and is absorbed into the red crystals.
Okay.
So that's Arcforge Engine 101 for you.
Are they aetherite crystals? Did you say?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Can I?
Just very big
Garrick
ones.
wanted to do something first, didn't he?
Oh yeah, well Garrick was heading down into the room. As he does
Can he
that,
see me?
once he heads down into the chamber, he probably can catch a glimpse of you on the other side. Yes.
Can I like wave my hand across my throat as like a stopping motion? Like don't go in.
Holy shit, there's cruising. I'll stop
Okay, you stop,
back here.
and maybe as you stop, you just send like I don't know, a few stones or something on the step, just kind of like get kicked from your boot, and they bounce into the chamber. And when they do, they suddenly get zapped by a blast of magical electricity and turn to
God.
cinders.
I'll motion and thanks.
Now ensues a very complex conversation using only sign language. Oh dear. What the fuck are we gonna do?
What can we do?
I could try and. How much can we communicate through sign language, Wolfie?
You can probably,
Um,
I mean, there's a lot of kind of zapping noises, but given that the chamber echoes quite nicely, you can probably yell across to each other if you have to.
Yeah, I don't want to alert that guy though. That's the thing.
In that
I'll
case,
mention
how good are you
Theo.
at signing?
Theo, get over here. You are much more true to this one than me.
Can we? Oh yeah, I'll wait for Theo to come down. I want to like mime a lightning rod.
How do you mime a lightning rod?
Is there like a bit of pipe in the other room, maybe?
Okay, yeah, maybe you can find a piece of pipe that you can use for your mime.
Okay, I'm gonna like I'm gonna make sure I've got some gloves on. I'm gonna wrap some cloth around my hands or something like as insulation. I'm gonna point at the lightning storm crystals things, and then I'm gonna point at the pipe, and then I'm gonna hold the pipe into the room. I don't know.
Okay, no, I kind of get what you're getting at. Maybe you could make a I guess it's a communication. I guess we'd say a communication performance check
Yeah.
because you're kind of doing a little act.
I don't have performance,
Just a
unfortunately.
communication check then.
18, and I
Oh,
stunted for
wow.
5.
Okay,
Dear
you
God.
can use a role-playing stunt if you want, or you can take inspiration.
I want to try a role-playing stunt.
Okay,
Let's
sure.
see. Whereabouts are they?
But you successfully convey to Theo. Theo understands what you're trying to say about making a lightning rod to deal with the magical
Flirt.
energy.
I was gonna do it in rage, but I don't know why. Why I would.
You've really pissed Theo off.
I
You
will
might be able
make
to do it and
lightning
another
bolts.
thing.
I will be angry.
What else is that? Tower of Wills? No. Flirt?
So funny.
I'm worried about what kind of flirting you're doing with a large rod.
It's not. Can I just take the inspiration?
Yeah, I
There's
think
not
you might
that
have.
lot.
I'm not sure. This is
There's
maybe
nothing
where
really applies.
stunts fail us.
Yeah, it's not. Start waving the rod suggestively and waggling my eyebrows. It doesn't really work.
Okay, take the inspiration points for now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Theo gets what you're trying to convey, which is you guys should build some sort of lightning attractor.
Or at least like grounding device that you can use. How confident would I feel about harnessing this giant crystal of magic energy?
Well,
On a scale of 1 to 10.
you passed your arcane launcher. I think probably about 5.
That's
Like,
extremely neutral.
You have okay, maybe 6. Maybe you're like waveringly confident. Like, kind of, you figure. I mean, you particularly, and those with magical senses, you're kind of like, oh, you could probably sense. You get a vibe of where the lightning's gonna go. Like, it's semi-random, but you can kind of sense where it's gonna go just before it does it. So you've got maybe a better than 50-50 chance, you reckon, of getting through it.
Oh no, I meant actually harnessing the energy and blowing shit up with it.
Oh, you want harnessing? I would say less than 50-50. Like, you're somewhat intimidated by the amount of raw energy that is jumping around this room.
Okay.
But you know, it could work. But if you couldn't handle it, then you would definitely feel it.
Blow up.
Let's see what spells I've got that might work. What's the plan here? I'm signing this across the.
Um,
Can I have a look at it with arcane awareness if I can get any extra info?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, and you got 3 stunt points, which I guess could be investigative.
Yeah.
Or exploration, or just take inspiration if you want. But
I'll take inspiration.
is that well, as Krosik has deduced, like the energy is jumping from there to there. What your senses pick up on is the kind of brass ring on the floor around this figure, which to everyone else just kind of looks like, yeah, like a sort of brass circle on the floor with some weird rune markings on, but to your arcane awareness, it glows very brightly and seems to be like the key to all this. Like when energy strikes the magical figure, the ring seems to kind of absorb the energy and kind of rotate it around him. At a guess from your senses, you would figure that that ring is what's keeping him imprisoned and keeping the energy flow going.
I've got a bad feeling about this guy, to be honest. Can I see
Yeah.
him from where I'm standing?
Um,
No, I don't really
I
think
mean,
I
the
can.
map makes it look no, but I'm gonna say yeah, just about. Like you can just about see through to there.
Does he look like a normal human? Because on the icon he has blue skin.
Distance, you can't see too much of him because he's kind of in this energy bubble and he's kind of quite
Okay.
shadowy through it. But you can sort of vaguely make
go
out
with no.
some kind of dark blue skin and a big bushy beard, and he looks larger than a human. He looks pretty big. That's about all you can
Do I
tell. at this
recognize him at
distance.
all?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I mean, for a moment, because he's really big and blue, you thought, oh, maybe it's a troll, but then, like, he's kind of too skinny and human-looking.
I'm
Like
gonna
a
say
really big blue human.
in this instance, guys, I think murder is fairly justified, and we should go ahead and do some
Who are
killing.
you? Who are you? And what have you done with Krosek? Krosek never
We are-
wants to murder.
It's not
people.
murder. It's more like environmental protection.
And also, we should remember that if we kill him, it will charge the batteries of this whole place for a while.
Yes, but if we destroy the circle around him, it would disable this
Through that.
energy thing.
Also, he might just murder us otherwise.
But what is the plan here? Because I have an idea, but I don't know if Garrick would come up with that idea.
We could just lob the incendiary charges there,
We could
see what happens.
we could put more energy into the system with our magic, see if it can overload it. Because it seems like it's kind of struggling at the moment. So we could try and overload it.
Or we could redirect the energy that's going from the big crystal to the figure and redirect it to go back to the crystal, so it would overload too.
Maybe blow up. Yeah. Do we want to save this blue guy though? His circle is orange, and that's not necessarily friendly. So,
It's also not necessarily evil.
yeah, but
His eyes are not glowing at all.
he looks like some kind of afrit. So I'm not.
But he might be really nice.
What are the chances of how willing are you to bet on that, Kenny?
To be quite honest, we're pretty good at making friends.
That's true.
I'll ask Black Wolf, how much does he sense death hanging over that guy?
Do I still have that ability?
Yeah, the weapon still has that, even though you've made it into something else. And you don't sense any death coming from that guy at all.
Is he smiling or is he looking? Oh, we can't really see, can
You
we?
can't really see details like his expression. He's just kind of like sort of floating in the air, but like sitting. And
Right.
yeah, you can't see
not normal.
any particular facial expressions or anything like that at this distance.
I'm gonna get over there and try and talk to him. I think that might be the.
Can I shout to Krosek?
Yeah.
Can I ask him if he can talk to him in the spirit realm? So then he doesn't have to go in the electric place.
This is an option.
Because then you can.
You
And you
you
could-
could try.
I say because then we can find out his intentions without having to free him necessarily.
Well, I could walk over there and not necessarily free him, but yeah. Yeah, I'll go into the spirit realm, see if he's aware of that.
Okay, sure. So Krosik sort of sits down on the edge of the chamber and sort of goes into his meditative spirit walking state. And once he does, the kind of the room takes on a very pallid grey appearance, but with bolts of light reflecting the magic shooting through the room. And to him, in his spirit form, this guy seems to have an incredibly powerful soul, and it's almost a blinding light when you look at where this guy is. kind of like staring right into a very bright fire. But you do sense from him that he's not really awake. He appears to be in some sort of permanent dreaming state, not really aware of where he is or what's going on.
Can I tell whether he's human or not, or if he's magical, or what kind of
He's
race he
not
is?
human. He doesn't feel like any sort of race that you've ever encountered before.
Is he a
As you sort of
genie?
try to reach out, no, he's not a genie. As you reach out to him, you sort of see vague flashes of lots of different landscapes from lots of different worlds just kind of flicker through your mind, and you have this sense of someone who's travelled very far and very long.
Is it very malicious, his soul, or is it quite like?
It's complex. You don't
Okay.
sense that sort of right and wrong that you normally get from the souls that you, or the spirits that you normally communicate with.
I mean, going on, maybe murder is the wrong course of action here, guys. I think my enemy is my friend. We should free this guy. Maybe he can help us blow up the mining platform for good.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah,
It's communicating in interpretive dance still.
Just like pointing my arms at him, thumbs up. Pointing them at you guys, thumbs up.
I'll try to enter the chamber.
Okay, so you're actually physically setting foot down in the chamber.
Yeah, with my arcane awareness on. Yeah, so that I can more easily see where the lightning is gonna strike. So.
Okay.
What's up?
Sure. Okay. Okay. If you're using your arcane awareness, can you make it an intelligence arcane lore check for me, please? And I'll give you a +2 for having your arcane awareness on.
So I get +2 to this.
Yeah. Okay. So you step in onto the metal floor of the chamber, and almost as soon as you do, a bolt of magic lightning shoots towards you, but you feel it coming, and you step very quickly to the side, and it strikes the spot where you were standing. And then you sense that you've got several seconds before another bolt will strike. So you're able to kind of move through the chamber at quite a brisk pace. So you can move up to where the guy is if you run.
Okay.
So you kind of go running through, and then again, just as you make it to where the guy is, you feel another bolt coming, and it strikes the ground just behind where you were. And then, as you've done with your token, you kind of step to the side behind the wall, and you're temporarily safe. So well done on dodging that. You get closer. You see this brass ring around this guy, and as you've still got your arcane awareness on, you can maybe see that it has these runes on, and you notice that the runes kind of each have a glow of different intensity to them. You can maybe sense that they all have some significance to how the mechanism works. You're also closer to the figure, so I'll say that, as I described before, he's this very, very tall humanoid with blue skin. You can see he actually has 4 arms, and he's got a very large bushy beard and glowing eyes, but he seems to be staring right through you. He doesn't seem aware of your presence.
I'll try to determine best way to disable the ring would be would just shooting it work?
Well, from what you can sense, like, I mean, it does require a physical presence, so, I mean, damaging it would probably do something.
We still got one breaching charge.
Breach the guy.
Yeah, that might not be such a good idea. I'll shoot the ring.
Okay,
I'll
sure. I'll say that you hit automatically because it's point blank range of a gun. But do you want to roll some damage for me, please?
Yeah, I'll use the gunmate thing that makes my bullet armor piercing.
Okay, sure.
And magical.
And magical.
Magic bullet.
So you shoot the ring. As the magical bullet strikes it, a few of the runes glow and then crack, and the kind of energy bubble around this guy kind of flickers briefly. But that's all that happens.
Can I try and navigate the room as well?
Yeah, sure.
Do I need to make the same kind of check?
I say there's sort of a couple of ways of approaching this. I mean, you could do a similar thing of trying to sense the magic, or you could just try and, physically dodge your way through.
Um, I mean, I have arcane law, so I could.
Sure, okay. So, would you want to make an arcane law chest to sense the magical fields for me? Okay, yeah, sure. So, same thing. Similar experience to Theo. You almost get struck by lightning a couple of times, but you're able to sense it coming and just kind of like dodge out the way. So you can move up to kind of where the figure is.
What can I before I move there? Can I check what this big sort of ring on the floor is in front of me? This big brass ring, just hopping around it.
Oh, those seem to be some sort of hatches. Maybe for maintenance or something. You can't see any immediate function for them. They seem to be clammed shut.
Are they? If I tried to open it, would I have to make a check to see if I can? Or?
I'd ask you to make a strength might check to unwheel them. I don't know how you say that. To turn them, just in spite of the force they're locked with.
I'm gonna try and push this crystal over.
Okay, that would be strength might as well.
Okay.
Okay,
Would it, like,
so
smash it?
you head up to this crystal and you give it a really hard shove, and to your surprise, like you hear the crystals crack, and then they start breaking and fall over to the side. Immediately, the kind of ebb and flow of magic in the room starts to kind of become chaotic and move out of control. The remains of the crystal are no longer shooting electricity into the center area, and lightning starts flying around wildly.
What's happening?
Everything's fine. I'm gonna move over here and try and push this crystal as well.
Okay, do you want to make another pushing check?
Yep.
Okay,
Same
you
again.
knock over that one as well, and now there's that's not being grounded into the main crystal either. So basically, there are bolts that are starting to fly out in random directions from this central crystal. I'm gonna ask both Krosik and Theo to make another arcane law check not to get zapped.
I stunted as well.
Oh, you're fine.
I don't get cumulative inspiration, do I?
No, I'm afraid
I think,
not.
okay, I've got two
You
saved from
both-
earlier. So.
You both feel the jolts of electricity coming and both manage to duck down in time to avoid being struck. The energy kind of continues what it's supposed to do and instead like unloads into the magical figure, but Theo notices that this time the unstable bolt seems to cause the energy bubble around him to flicker again, and the guy seems to wake up for a moment, and you hear him screaming out.
Can I try to make an arcane circle around the arcane circle?
Yeah, sure. You roll to cast it.
Circleception.
Indeed. It's actually 4 yards diameter, so just about as big as the
I think
bronze.
it's it will you can cast an arcane circle that will cover that area.
Yeah. So basically, it blocks magic coming from outside.
So you're
To the
putting it
inside of the circle.
around him.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that seems yeah, give it a go.
It actually has a quite long casting time.
It takes a minute.
check.
Can I
Okay,
keep pushing
so
over crystals?
I guess while you're casting it, you won't be able to dodge bolts of the power, so you're gonna take some damage while you're trying to cast this. So
Yeah,
what
sure.
I'm gonna ask you to do is you are gonna get hit by several stray bolts of magical lightning. I'm gonna ask you to make a Constitution stamina check to kind of try and withstand the damage.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah, about that.
Womp womp.
You take 14 points of penetrating damage as the magic starts, like, burning bits of your flesh off.
Oh my god.
But you are able to successfully surround the figure in an arcane circle, which protects him against magic. This basically breaks the circuit, and this energy that's been moving to him suddenly has nowhere to go, and it starts shooting just randomly around the room.
Oh my god.
Crowset, can you also make a Constitution stamina check? Because at this point, there's no way you can avoid the magic that's just flooding the whole compartment.
Oops.
Constitution. Do I get a bonus because I'm a storm dragon now?
No,
Don't even need it.
you don't need it. It's fine. You're good.
I take it like a. I take it like a dragon. Ah!
Okay,
Like a
so
dragon.
whilst magic is flooding everywhere else, this figure is surrounded in your protective arcane circle.
Oh shit!
Um,
I just had an idea.
the energy bubbles around him vanishes, and you can see him clearly. This guy just seems to suddenly wake up from whatever weird dream state he was in, and instead of floating in the air, he descends to the floor. And he's naked, stripped to the waist, and he just kind of reaches out with all four arms towards Theo in a kind of, I don't know, like welcome gesture. And he just goes, "Thank you, friend. How long have I been asleep? What is going on in this strange metal world?"
Hello. We are here to bust this place up and probably to free you. Let's get out of here.
Probably to free.
Yes.
Free me. Was I imprisoned in this place?
Yes. You were kind of powering this metal place. Or some kind of arcane focus.
I slap my hands on the arcane crystal in the middle whilst this conversation's going on.
Oh dear god.
Okay, you slam your hands on it and immediately suffer feedback from the incredibly powerful crystal.
I wanna eat the magic.
Eat the crystal.
Okay,
Take it like a dragon.
Use the talon!
you take 12 points of arcane damage, penetrating damage.
It's fine. I'm gonna try and pick up Godzilla. This is it.
This is it.
This is it,
It's
guys.
now or never.
Got one
Okay,
shot.
what are you actually trying to do whilst this electricity is coursing through your body?
I'm just gonna let it shape me. I'm gonna let it bond with the storm dragon essence. I'm gonna hope it works. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. You can make an arcane law check, but I'm going to call this a nigh impossible roll.
Fuck yeah! I'm using my bonus. Do I get a storm lightning arcana bonus as well? 'Cause
No.
it's
You
lightning.
can have
I
your
don't.
inspiration, that's it.
Okay, what is this? Intelligence? Did you say?
Intelligence, you can have arcane law focus, that's it.
Okay. Come on, 19.
No.
Need 21.
No.
Oh shit! Did I have my? Did
You
I have my plus
take-
2? Did I have my plus 2? Hold on, 5, Oh, I did. Shit. Okay.
You take a further 13 points of penetrating damage.
That's fine.
To those watching from the chamber, they see Krosek sort of becoming transparent, and they can see his skeleton briefly as power just shoots through him.
I'm gonna try
What are
again.
you doing?
I want to try again.
God.
The magical figure turns to Theo and goes, "Is that strange little figure with you?"
Yes.
Oh, can I get Spret to come over to me and try and help me and share the?
Sure.
Yeah, I want to share the share
The pain.
the
Like
flow. Can I try again?
Okay, but it's going to be the same thing. You don't have inspiration anymore.
It's fine. Come on. Yeah. Fuck.
Oh my
Oh my
Yes.
god.
Oh, fucking yes.
Okay,
GM that Wolfie.
fine. As Krosek bites down, and like just brute forces his way through the pain, pure weird or magical energy flows into him and awakens the dormant dragon magic inside. And as he watches, the chamber appears to get smaller and smaller and smaller.
What the fuck? I'm just a giant head.
Oh my god.
Yes.
As Krosik swells to an enormous giant size that fills the chamber, and he whacks his head on the top of the dome.
Am I just a giant Krosek, or am I turning into a dragon?
That's enough.
Yeah, like sort of stubby wings start to burst out of your back that crackle with lightning energy, and you sort of slam your arms into the sides of the chamber, trying to hold yourself up, but by pushing against the walls, they start to crack.
Fuck yes. I want
Blow
to
this
eat.
whole place up.
I want to eat the crystal in the middle.
Oh, the crystal disintegrates as you grow and absorbs into your
Oh
body.
fuck yeah. Nice. Perfect.
The magical figure turns to Theo and says, "Strange company you have. I think now might be a good time to leave."
Yeah, yes, I totally agree.
Do I have wings?
Yes, you have wings,
Oh,
and
fuck
you
yeah.
are continuing to grow.
How are you gonna get out of here?
I'm gonna motion to Twig. Who has the last incendiary charge?
I have
I don't have incendiary. I've got
Have you got breaching?
Breach.
Oh,
I have
okay.
2 incendiaries.
I'm
We
gonna,
have all
I'm gonna
three.
wave a big. Why the fuck is my icon so big? Oh, can I like wave a claw at Twig? Point at the roof or floor? Doesn't matter.
So I'll unhitch the charge from Dex's back and sort of gingerly offer it to you. Twig's looking absolutely terrified.
Oh god.
She is beyond terrified of this.
I think it's a bit too small for my hands at this point. Can you? I'll ask Twig to light the. Please set it off.
I'll arm it and then disappear back
Oh shit! Yeah.
back into the chamber.
Fine. I'm gonna. Where does the? Are we in like a dome? Did you say?
Yeah, it's
Wolfie?
like a large dome.
Is there like a clear ceiling or anything? Can I?
No, it's solid metal, except as I said, it's
All
now
around.
cracking from the pressure you're beginning to put on it.
Okay, I'm gonna put the charge against the weakest looking crack. I'll like put it
Okay,
inside.
So there's a
if I
crack
can.
kind of directly above your head that looks like
Yeah.
fairly wide. You shove the incendiary charge in there.
Fine. I can't see this ending well, but fine.
Okay, the charge explodes and the top of the chamber ruptures and burning metal starts to fall into the chamber as Krosek continues to grow.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Is there like an opening
Krosek!
above me now?
Yeah, basically you're starting to rise up into the inner mechanical workings of the mining platform itself.
Yeah,
the,
I'm just gonna tear my way out.
the magical figure basically starts making a run for it.
Can I grab him? Can I grab him as I'm like going up?
Make a dexterity check for me. And I'm
Yeah,
going to say it's at
fine.
-4 because you're giant.
Well, usually it'd be really easy because I'm giant.
Yeah, but he's a very little thing. Imagine trying to just
Okay.
like grab an
12.
ant. No, sorry, he runs past
Okay.
you.
It's fine. It's fine.
I actually
Well-
can't get at him because you're in the way. Hang on. Right.
Can I not block him with my body? No, I'm not gonna fuck with him. It's
Okay,
fine.
so the figure and Theo managed to make it back to the control chamber. The Orc Shaman and the Hobgoblin basically push past Dart and run away up the stairs as Krosek basically smashes up into the top of the chamber and you can't even see his head anymore.
Yep, we're out of here.
I'm assuming all of my clothes. So I'm a giant naked old saurian.
You're a dragon now. You're a dragon now.
Oh, am I actually turning into a dragon? I thought I was just
Turn
becoming
into like a giant
massive.
dragon person.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna.
House dragon.
My feet not going through the floor as well. I imagine I'm quite heavy.
Oh
at
yeah,
this
the
point.
floor's caving in. Everything's basically starting to tear apart under the
Okay.
force of your growth. And to the regular-sized people, everything is beginning to shake violently. And if you thought there were a
Can
lot
I-
of alerts, klaxons going off before, there are now even more.
All of them are going off.
Yeah.
Can I put my hands down to anyone that's still like within reach of me?
You try, but you're already too big, and you find your arms pushing against walls that then break under your weight.
Okay, I'm gonna try and smash my way away from the party.
It is now your responsibility to destroy this whole thing.
Fuck yeah.
Fine, you try
No
and push,
problem.
you
I
try
don't
and
think
push
I-
that way so that you're away from the party. I'm
Yeah,
guessing everyone
yeah.
else is going to try and run away very quickly.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
I think I've like probably despawned Spread at this point. It just doesn't even matter. Oh shit!
We
What
will
about all
become
my...
a spirit dragon.
Oh god. I don't even know what the implications of this are going to be in the long run, but fuck it.
Well,
Okay.
Kelly just said you're going to become the next boss.
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh,
So
totally
the rest of you go running up the stairs. The entire structure is shaking around you, and black acrid smoke fills the corridors. You can hear the roaring sound of flames coming from every direction, and whole sections of walls seem to crumple in suddenly around you. Somewhere you can hear screaming, but you don't know where it's coming from. Pipes burst around you, and green smoke comes bursting out. The whole structure seems to be shaking like there's an earthquake, and you sense that the place doesn't have long before it's completely destroyed.
Out, 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 out.
Twig turns to the magic guy and says, "Hey, you Bluebeard, we need to go. We need to go now."
doesn't he have like teleport and stuff?
I'll take one of the incendiary charges and arm it and just throw it somewhere as we go to add more destruction.
Yeah, because I think we need more destruction right now.
Yes.
Okay, so as you're running, you just kind of throw this this thing, and it just causes yet another fire blast to take hold and cause even more things to start getting turned into charcoal.
Hmm.
Can I see daylight yet?
No, you're still, from Krosik's point of view, you're just kind of repeatedly hitting your head on metal things as you smash upwards through floors.
Okay.
I'm going to have to focus on the party for a moment in terms of their
That's fine.
escape. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go?
As we run, I'll yell, Twig, the way out, now!
Right, so I'm gonna sort of fly ahead of the group, and I've got the plans out, and I'm just gonna attempt to navigate the.
Okay, can you make a mechanical law chest? But I'm going to say you've got a -2 penalty because you're essentially like trying to work it out as you run. Okay, fair enough. So, from a quick glance, you reckon there's three ways out of here. One is back the way you came. If you can get across this way, then you could get back to the damaged boiler room and escape the way you got in. Another way is you reckon if you went up these stairs, there are some power chambers that look like they might involve some sort of portal devices. And there also seems to be there's something marked this way, which has a kind of parachute symbol on it, which you would guess maybe is some sort of safety escape type thing, but you're not entirely sure.
I sort of scream this back to the group and suggest that the parachutes are the best way to go.
Yeah. We can't go the way we came from because it's probably a sea of fire by now. So the parachutes, yeah,
Probably a sea of Crowsec
Yeah.
as well.
indeed.
So we'll head towards the parachutes.
Oh shit! Sorry, I realised you guys aren't in the right map.
Indeed.
Sorry, I was looking at something and hadn't moved you through. So yeah, you've got, as I said, you've got three options. You can try to get back across. You can go up the stairs, or you can go for the down this corridor, which has a parachute symbol.
Parachutes. Do-do-do.
Yeah, I think let's head to the parachutes.
Oh, the engineer is dead. The scared engineer.
Yeah, as you run past the engineer, he appears to have been very badly scalded by steam. You'd guess that he got caught in some sort of pipe rupturing steam explosion. Anyway, you run down this corridor and you come to another one of these wheel-locked pressure doors, which appears to have been shut. Twig grabs for the wheel, but it appears to be locked fast from the other side.
Whoops.
We still have two.
Crowsec took my last charge.
We still have one, I think. Then.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have. I put it on. I think I have a breach in charge.
Yeah, because we had three. We have used one, and did Crowsec take one?
I
Oh yeah, I gave mine to Crowsec.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I have
that's
one.
me. You should still have one.
Yeah, I have one. It's mine. So I put it and light it.
You've also got Dexus.
Okay, so Black Wolf steps forward and applies the breaching charge and lights the fuse. Everyone backs up very quickly.
But Theo.
No.
I'm assuming Fear will back up very quickly. As the fuse on the charge breaks down, you kind of like just watch it, hoping that this is going to work. At this moment, the floor.
Oh god! Oh god!
The floors rupture as an enormous Crowsec head comes bursting through the metal, and you just see this terrifying, grinning Saurian as he kind of ascends up through the structure, destroying entire levels as he goes. A moment later, the pressure door is blown open by the pressure charge, and you can see through the clearing smoke cloud that there is a corridor that goes further down. You guys run down this corridor as the whole place blows apart around you. At the end of this corridor, there are three chutes that are labelled as escape pods. Two of them are empty, but one still has this kind of like metal sphere that's kind of docked in it. You all jump in and basically grab on. The next thing you know, this metal sphere kind of closes around you automatically, and there's the sounds of rockets firing. You are launched out of a tube, and you suddenly find yourselves hurtling out into the plains land around where Big Bertha is, as you're shot clear of the mining platform. And then a few moments later, the metal escape pod that you're in suddenly stops falling and is suddenly floating down gently, and you realise that it's deployed a parachute.
Oh, neat.
From your new vantage point of being several dozen feet up in the air, you watch as the whole of this Big Bertha mining platform just tears itself apart in one enormous explosion. And like all its big chimneys and mechanical drills and saws are just like ripped apart and sent flying in various different directions. Out of this enormous fireball, you see a giant Krosek, like about half a mile tall, just like stomping out of the destruction that he's caused.
Oh, I'm gonna roar. Just unleash lightning.
Very well. You roar, and the whole sky shakes, and lightning bolts just strike the ground for many miles, as far as anyone can see. And then, just at the end of your roar, it starts to taper off and start to sound kind of squeaky. And with a flailing, desperate motion, Krosek suddenly seems to shrink very rapidly. And to those of you in the floating escape pod, you just see this giant figure suddenly shrink down until you can't see him anymore, and he's just lost in the smoke and rubble from where the mining platform used to be.
It's no fun.
Krosek!
Do I still have my wings?
I don't know. I think for now it's safe to say Krosek might be unconscious because you've just been through quite an ordeal.
Oh, okay.
So the escape pod sinks down to the ground on its parachute and eventually lands. When it does, the door automatically pops open, and although quite badly battered and bruised, you can claw your way out onto solid ground. All around
Scamper
you,
out.
the shattered plains are just covered in like debris and smoke and burning rubble.
That giant Krosek is gonna haunt my dreams for years.
Giant naked Krosek.
Yeah.
Big old lizard dick swinging in the wind.
Oh shit. In the
How does
smoke.
it look? Does it look like it's not safe to go there to try and find him?
Everything's, as I said, covered in burning rubble and bits of twisted metal, but the storm that Krosek sort of summoned has brought up a lot of wind along with the lightning, and that wind is kind of clearing the smoke away, and you can kind of see your way through the destruction. Basically, the whole area is now kind of one enormous crater of destruction and debris.
So we'll go find him. I'll keep my gun at hand just in case there are some survivors, which is unlikely, but anyway.
Okay, so you move forward through the smoke, and after calling out Krosek's name and sort of searching through the debris for about half an hour, you finally find Krosek naked, curled up on the ground, with with his sort of dragon-like wings, kind of newly grown and somewhat scabby, but still attached to his back. And as you find him, and sort of maybe Garrick turns him over with his boot, Krosek kind of slowly wakes up with this big grin on his face.
Yeah, it's a massive shit-eating grin. Like, fuck you guys.
Okay, you had your fun. Happy now.
Have I lost all of my shit, Wolfie?
More or less, yes. I mean,
okay,
you
it's
pretty much
fine.
destroyed your gear and
100%
your
worth it.
clothing by becoming giant, but you did destroy the entire mining platform in the process.
Oh shit,
Okay,
am I
give
gonna
me a
have
code.
some...
Maybe with a little bit of searching, you might be able to recover one or two key items, like out of the rubble. But I mean, you know, pretty
I
much.
think
Yeah,
it'd probably
everything's
just be
gone.
like Sprat's disc. I don't even know if I still need the disc. I'd like the Thunderbird claw, actually. That's what I'd like.
Okay, as one thing, perhaps still gripped in your hand, you find the Thunderbird claw, which by some sort of
I was holding that. Yeah.
mystical miracle is still intact and undamaged in your hand.
I'm gonna
But
stride off naked through the smoke.
Otherwise,
Just-
you have lost all your inventory.
It's fine, I'll get rid of it all now.
Godspeed, Krozak. Godspeed.
I just walk off in a random direction.
Okay, so as you stand in the smoking rubble, I think that's probably a good place to leave this session. Well done on destroying Big Bertha. It's not quite how I expected you would do it, but it has been
Never is.
successfully achieved.
When do we do anything expected?
I think that went according to plan, pretty much.
Mhm.
I think.
Right. I will say that that kind of represents the final main challenge that I was expecting you guys to deal with. What I plan on doing is that we have one more session next week to kind of try and wrap up this campaign. But you guys have managed to successfully make deals with the Clicknids and defeat Calavera and blow up the mining platform. So you've kind of succeeded in your major campaign goals, so very well done on that. So yeah, I think what we'll do next week is we'll have one more session to kind of wrap up loose ends and maybe represent your guys' travel back home. And we'll see what happens when you do that.
I feel like I achieved my personal goal.
Becoming a big stompy monster.
Yeah.
Coming gods.
Yeah. Although temporarily, at least I know it can be done now. So,
Just have to keep rolling 21s.
and finding huge supplies of weird ore.
Well,
Job well done,
Good.
everybody.
Nice.
Thanks, Wolfie. You handled that like perfectly, I think. But
That's okay. Glad it worked out.
the giant token just made it though. Like, just the fucking grin was just. Oh. So what are the actual implications of what happened apart from wings now? I don't know.
That remains to be seen.
Okay, fine. I think I need a cup of tea after that. I thought I was going to have a heart attack. I was laughing so hard.
I so thought you were dead. I was like, it's dead.
yeah,
That's
me
the
too.
guy.
I was just like, I've got,
If you hadn't rolled that 21, I mean, you were going to take even more 3d6 bucket worth of damage,
Oh.
and you could very well have killed yourself.
I was
so-
planning to just keep rolling until I got it or died. So it's probably a good thing that worked
You
out.
were lucky. Let's just put it that way.
It's the heart of the storm dragon was with me. What can I say? There's no luck, Wolfie. Only destiny.
Apparently so.
Oh shit, that could have ended so badly.
It could have ended up with you dead on the floor in
Looking
a mining platform
rather
that was
embarrassed.
still exploding when people didn't have time to really save you.
I just accelerated the process a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like I completely overshadowed us meeting this like amazing magical blue dimension traveling guy. Just a
Well-
little bit.
All I will say is there were other rooms to this place that you didn't get a chance to see because you destroyed them. So
Oh.
who knows what might have been. But
Oh,
also, if you checked out those other rooms, you might not have been able to destroy the place. So it's, you know, things balance out. Okay, well we'll call it there for tonight. Thanks guys, that was interesting.
Yep, thanks.
Thanks for the session. It was fun.
And yeah, as I said, yeah, we'll do one more session next week, and then that'll be the wrapping up of this campaign. So
Yeah.
if there's any outstanding, lingering character things you want to kind of take care of, that's something to maybe think about to prepare for next week's session.
I got one in my mind already. 11-Eyed Jake.
Oh shit,
Dun,
yeah.
dun, dun.
The showdown.
Probably just gonna go arrest him and that's it.
What, you're happy to murder everyone else? And then you're like,
I think you'll find, Raj, you killed the majority of people today.
Yeah.
just by default.
I'm super happy that I got 2 kills.
Yeah.
I never kill people.
Oh, what's
You-
my
you
kill
too
count?
can
Just
be
like
a murder hobo.
Yeah, I think you've got the highest kill count now.
Almost.
My
Definitely.
notes kind of describe that thing as having a crew of hundreds.
so I just single-handedly just wiped out. Oh,
I mean,
amazing.
many of whom you could assume perhaps were just doing it because they needed a job, and not because they were necessarily evil.
Yeah.
Also, think about all the like families you've just torn asunder. All those people who have wives and kids.
You guys killed the Clicknid Hive Queen, who was mother to thousands, and you felt no pity.
He wasn't bothered to anything but corpses.
I care not for you fleshy meat bags.
Well, I'm gonna go have my dinner. On that note, thanks very much, guys. I will see you next week for the final session.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Good night.
See ya.
See you.
See ya.